Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Preston Pugh, and I'm joined by my two very best friends, Garrett Drake.
Hello, Preston.
And Jacob Alka.
Good afternoon.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I'm doing fine, but I can see both of you are feeling a little green today, and I did not get the memo. I was a little upset. Could have changed my shirt, but I don't want to be too vibrant this afternoon. For the video watchers, you know.
Do you own a green shirt?
I do. I have two green shirts, mostly black and gray. I only dress in black and sometimes very, very dark gray. No, but I took a picture one time. It was on my Instagram of I had done my laundry and hung up all my shirts. When I turned around, it was just a sea of black. I was like, I should probably invest in some more color because I'm not a depressed person. I'm not upset about anything. I just like black for some reason.
I have more black and gray shirts. I mean, I have a bit more variety than you do, but I wouldn't say a much higher bit.
Right. I've been trying to branch out a bit every time I go into stores. If I see like a tan shirt or like a white or I don't really like super bright stuff, like kind of like, you know, like that color green I'd look like an idiot in, but Jacob looks great in it. Your shade I could maybe pull off, but the greens I have are like a darker green. Kind of.
Do I look good in this?
No, you do. You look good. That's the first thing I noticed.
He'll tell you. I have to get it out of him.
He showers me with the compliments, but he doesn't say anything.
I see how it is.
We can't deny the fact that Jacob's just very handsome. So it's the first thing everyone tells me when they know about our videos. And when I meet someone in person, they're like, "Hey, your friend is huge." I was like, "Yeah, I know." It's like, it's a beautiful man.
A huge idiot.
I'm not huge.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't throw on a green shirt. I didn't want to be two in everyone's face. But it's good to be here with you guys today.
Jacob, how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, gentlemen, we play around here.
Yeah, we're
just
joke
having
around.
fun. Yeah.
Jacob cries and leaves. All right, guys, from now on, it's just Preston and I flying solo, and it's Obvious Gaming.
Yeah.
I come back. I need my phone.
Yeah, I need my phone. All right, guys, video's done. Sorry, but yeah, Jacob, it is good to see you.
Yeah, I watched Spotlight this week, the Oscar-winning Picture of the Year.
Is that the one with the Catholic Church stuff?
Yes.
Okay, it's funny you say that because before you tell us your thoughts, my parents, like a month ago or so now, were like, hey, we're going to watch Spotlight together. And my sister, they're like, Anna's going to watch it with us. And I was like, I remember reading a review about it being about like Catholic preachers and like kids and stuff, and I was like,
Catholic preachers molesting young children.
Yeah, I was like, that was in the back of my mind. I was like, not that I'm like against watching the movie, but I don't want to watch it with my parents. I was like, no, I'm gonna.
It's
pass
not
on
awkward
that.
at all. There's no like, you don't see any of that stuff. It's just like
I know you don't see it, but I the reason why I'm glad I made this decision because that same night when they were watching it, I went down to get some water. I didn't look at the screen because I don't want to spoil it because I'm gonna watch it at some point. But when I was walking back upstairs, I just hear this lady going, "Describe it to me in detail," and he's like, "Well, then he did this to me, and he did." I was like, oh, and my sister and my parents were just sitting there watching it. I was like, I don't know.
It's not really awkward. I mean, it's fine.
But I'd rather not watch it with my parents.
Yeah,
but,
speaking of awkward, I told you I watched that Adam Sandler movie with my parents, the Do-Over. That was awkward. Super awkward.
Yeah. That movie was okay, I thought.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
So... I
don't want to watch a hairy Spanish man doing a threesome with David Spade in front of my parents.
Yeah, that was it was a little much for even Casey and I.
Yeah.
It's like you could tell they intentionally made it drag on just for those situations. So if that's what their goal was, they certainly accomplished it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think of Spotlight, though?
I mean, it was fine. It wasn't like, oh, this is definitely Picture of the Year.
Yeah, do you think it was Best Picture because of like the content of it?
Yes, of course.
And not like the performances?
Everything's political at the Oscars.
Right.
It always has been.
So.
I mean, it's...
Interesting.
It definitely wasn't the best picture in my opinion. Revenant was much better.
You thought so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen all of the Best Picture nominees from this year, but
I haven't either. To be fair,
I've seen Revenant and what was the other one? The Big Short. I saw that one.
I saw The Big Short. That's a much better film than this one.
That's the one with
Christian Bale.
Yeah, and
Steve Carell.
Yes,
Steve Carell.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I like that one. Steve Carell continues to impress me though, because it's amazing to see him come from like 40-year-old virgin in the Office, and then go into these roles. Like he was in Foxcatcher. Did you guys see Foxcatcher? He was very impressive in that movie. He was truly creepy in it. That movie, and then obviously The Big Short. And he's been in a couple other things.
I loved him.
Roles.
I always blank on the title of the movie. It's a chick flick.
I know what you're talking about.
I thought it was
Gosling
really good. Yes, I thought that was a great movie.
What's it called?
Crazy Stupid Love.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, Steve Carell's great in that. But
he's good.
That's cool, man. You play any games this week, or you
Of course.
were watching films?
I just watched that film.
Okay. That's all you did.
And what did I play, Preston? Can you guess what I played?
Overwatch,
I played Overwatch.
Lego Star Wars.
Yes.
Did you play anything else? Or is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
Nice.
Okay.
Sticking to my 2 games a week.
I got it. What about you, Garrett?
I played 30 minutes of Ratchet & Clank. I'm still working on the Platinum. I'm so close, but I had no time this week, unfortunately, due to work and other things. But when I had time to play games, I dabbled in that a bit. I played some more Halo Master Chief Collection with Zach. We had some good matches, some bad matches. Mostly good, thankfully. But there's every now and then we got beat so bad. It was awful. But
speaking of co-op, don't let me forget it. I have a proposition for you, okay?
Okay. We were supposed to finish Resident Evil 6.
That was my proposition.
Okay. Yeah, we need to finish that.
I want to platinum that game. Okay. That's a very platinumable game.
Okay.
Platinum.
Platinumable.
Yeah, platinumable.
That's a tough word.
That's a new word I invented.
I like it.
So, because Resident Evil 5 is coming out July 12th.
Right.
And
we're going to do
arguably, that game is far superior to Resident Evil 6.
Right.
So, I think we'll have an even funner time playing that one. Then Resident Evil 4 comes out in October, I think.
I'm pumped for that.
And I'm very excited for that one.
I'm pumped purely off of not only what I've seen other people play, but what I've seen you personally play, and just all the praise it gets. So I'm excited to play that for sure.
Yeah, because I want to I know we got way deep into Resident Evil 6, and that's a game I just do not want to play by myself, because it's just not that fun.
Right.
It's purely fun just because it's a co-op game.
Yeah,
but if we have time to do that, I would like to finish it, because I know we are pretty close to finishing it.
For sure, so, we need to.
Anyways, continue.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
The small amount of Overwatch I played with you guys and Edgar and his brother Eric was fantastic. Those few matches we played where we were winning, like a few in a row, that was so fun. And I really want to play that game again, because I was wanting to play all week, but none of us could really get together at the same time. I know you guys played a little more, and you said it didn't go so well one night.
No, did not go well at all.
We played Wednesday night, I think.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It was a butt kicking, to say the least.
Yeah, I understand that if I was there, it would have been a different story. But I can't always be there. For
nothing
you guys.
nothing was meshing together. Like there was a point where there was like 4 McCrees. It was just
my goodness,
nobody gave a crap about winning. So
right, that's a shame.
Yeah, that was just the tone of the night.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, other than that, I also played some Lego Star Wars with Jacob. Jacob's playing it kind of twice, essentially. You're playing it on your own end with me, right?
Right, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I think I might, after we did the walkthrough, might just go back and actually play through the game again. Or at least when I'm getting all the trophies, playing as other characters, maybe I'll get a little more out of it, because doing the walkthrough, it's like, I can't really truly get into it because I'm like so focused on like, oh, this is a video and stuff. We're on camera. You can't.
That's why I'm playing it separately, so I know what's going on.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's why I'm playing it beforehand too. So if we get stuck, I should know what to do.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. I was gonna say, like I wanted to make like a silly intro for all of our Lego walkthroughs, since it's like for walkthroughs I like to do a little something extra for the Let's Plays, and obviously I did the Luke Skywalker thing with episode 1. Well, episode 2, for those of you that have seen it or have any plans to watch it, it doesn't have a silly intro because I spent like an hour and a half making this hilarious intro with Force Awakens where Kylo Ren and Rey fight. And Jacob and I were essentially in their place fighting, and it was pretty funny, and I spent a lot of time on it. And when I uploaded the video, it got flagged. And normally when our stuff gets flagged for copyright, when I add like a song or something to the video, it's like, oh, it's all good. We might just have to put ads in your video, so don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, this one was like, you absolutely, without a doubt, cannot put this on your YouTube channel because it's copyrighted for visual content. I was like, dang, that sucks, because I got the video from another YouTube video, so I don't know how they were allowed to upload it. But regardless, it was a hilarious intro that I was disappointed I had to cut from the video. So that's my only Lego Star Wars story for the week. But regardless of that, I'm enjoying the game even on video, so
nice.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I don't know when I'll get it. I'm kind of busy right now, but I definitely will eventually get it. I might get it on Vita, because I've heard once you beat the game one time, the rest of the trophies and stuff are like pretty grindy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of like a handheld thing I'd like to do.
Definitely.
But maybe I'll get it on PS4 as well, because I know they're 2 separate games. You can get double the trophies for essentially playing the same game. There's a bit of difference here or there in the trophies. Okay. I looked into that. But nice. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. I played Overwatch a little bit with you and Jacob, of course, and I really wanted to hunker down on Mirror's Edge Catalyst, if that's how you say the name. And I beat it. The ending was very just
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was so good. Well, I started skipping the cutscenes a few days ago because I do not care in the slightest. Like, I literally could not give less of a crap about the story. And the final place, I totally knew it was the final level because, shit's blowing up and you're running and jumping. And then the final boss fight, you just fist fight like 2 of the top level martial arts guys and you beat them and you like fall off this tower and that's it. And I can't really spoil the game for you because I don't know what happened in the story, but that's just the ending set piece. You like literally walk out onto this helicopter mat, and the credits came on after I skipped the cutscene. So that was that. Gotta get all the collectibles and beat all the time trials.
Wow.
Which the time trials, like I told y'all last week, they're way easier. They're even easier now. So I'm just going to knock those out pretty fast and get all the collectibles, which is going to take me a decently long time, a couple of days, because there's over like 400 collectibles or something. There's like 20 in the missions that I'll have to replay. And for the collectibles to actually count in your playthrough, you have to finish the mission. So I'm going to have to go through a couple of different missions through the story mode and get these collectibles and beat the mission yet again. And then run around the open world part and get all these collectibles. So yeah,
I was looking at some of the
Mirror's
whole time.
Edge.
Mirror's Edge, that's what it was.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was looking up the hashtag thing I want to talk about later. I found one we can use.
Yeah, I beat. Like I said, I beat the game. Don't know what happened in the story. I skipped every cutscene.
Wow.
It's fun. It's fun, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it.
I don't know how fun Garrett. It's fun.
It doesn't sound that fun to me.
What's going on?
If you skipped all the cutscenes too.
I didn't say the story was good.
Yeah.
The gameplay's fun though. Once you get good at it, you can do some pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
No, I would not recommend you play it at all.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you would like do that smile at me if you were playing it, like that
cheeky
smile you
grin.
do. Yeah, we were like, this is shit, but I'm smiling.
This is good, I guess.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And then like laugh when I get offended because you don't like it and you laugh at me.
Yeah.
That would be this game.
Oh, okay.
But
thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get everything in it because I've come this far. I'm not gonna just let it go. I've got like 70 or 80% of the trophy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it, and then I'm gonna go to The Last of Us.
Okay.
And platinum that game. Finally.
You have the multiplayer trophy left?
One more. I've had one more trophy in The Last of Us for like a year now.
What do you have to do to get it?
Just complete the Hunter story on multiplayer.
Okay.
So I gotta play like 30 matches on multiplaire.
Sounds fun.
Gotta do that. It does sound fun. I really like that multiplayer.
Me too. It's great.
So
I'd play with you.
Oh, okay.
When I have time.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it's in here, because if it's not in here, I'd like to say something on it really quick about the Uncharted 4 DLC.
Yeah,
multiplayer.
I actually meant to put that in there, but I forgot.
Okay, did y'all see the trailer for it?
For the pirate stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
It does
and
look awesome.
And it's free too.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. The map looks really cool. All the custom, there's new weapons, new outfits and taunts and stuff. Yeah.
That's still one I might go back and platinum eventually.
Yeah.
I just am like so busy with other things that even for me to sit down and play Ratchet and Clank for half an hour is like hard now, which sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see eventually. Yeah. But the DLC does look really awesome.
Yeah. I just really like the multiplayer of that game a lot, to where I totally go back and play around with it every now and then.
Definitely.
Same with Doom. Still undefeated. Still
Yeah.
undefeated.
We haven't done another video about it. But
I've been playing with another friend of mine. I'm like 16-0 still.
That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't played
still
that
going
at all.
strong.
At all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Platinum it, but I haven't played much multiplayer. So, I don't know. But yeah, Overwatch and Doom are two shooters I'd like to play, especially Overwatch, because I'm really feeling in the Overwatch mood right now.
That's a game where I'm like at work, I'll just think about
Overwatch.
Yeah, because I would rather be playing that at the moment than working.
No, I feel you definitely. I've been thinking the same thing recently.
Yeah.
You guys have anything interesting happen to you during the week outside of video games? I had one interesting encounter. It was very brief, but this one gentleman was very upset in this parking lot that I don't smoke, because I was walking out of a Walgreens. I had to go in and get some like body wash or something. I needed some, so I slipped in this Walgreens real quick, and I'm walking out, and I'm halfway to my car in the parking lot. All I hear is, "Excuse me," and I turn around. And he's like, if I'm sorry for those of you that are listening, like just the audio version or the video version, you can kind of see what this guy was like. So he's like, for some reason, he's kind of standing like Jack Sparrow would with his hands out, and he's like, hey, you smoke? And I was like, and I looked around for a second. I was like, no, sir, I do not. And he's like, shit! He like throws his arms down. What? And he turns around and goes in the Walgreens. I was like, what the heck?
He probably wanted a cigarette or something.
Yeah, desperately. But he was like about to cry. He was like, shit! Walked in the Walgreens. And I got in my car and drove away. I was like, well, that was interesting. But other than that, that's about all that's going on in my life.
I thought this was some guy protesting for smoking.
No,
that's what I was expecting.
He was just asking for a cigarette. He had like a tank top on, a lot of tattoos, and like a chain around his neck, and like several rings on his fingers. And he's like, yeah, smoke. It was interesting. But.
Oh, I have something to say.
Okay.
That agitated me today.
Okay.
It took me 2 hours to get to your house today.
Okay.
2 hours.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
That's a commitment to this podcast.
There are too many people on this earth.
Oh,
There's too many of you. And I was on Facebook today, and I have a few friends who are would be considered conspiracy theorists.
Right.
And have you heard the whole
Jetstream thing?
Jetstream stuff?
Yes.
I can disprove that right now. There's too many people here. This population control that they say is happening is not working, so they need to get better at it. There's too many freaking people just everywhere. They don't know how to drive. They're getting in wrecks and stuff. There's a giant wreck on the highway here of people that backed into each other and they don't even pull off the road. Yeah. So they're just keeping up traffic, and people won't go the speed limit.
That's the worst part is people just sit there and watch it like for 5 minutes while I drive by.
I know that doesn't help anything either. And people don't understand, if they like slam on their brakes, it's just a domino. The guy behind him is going to put on a brake, and the guy behind him, and then like 50 cars down, people are stopping now.
Yeah.
Just don't cut your brake lines. Just drive if you're on the highway. Stop it. And if you run into the back of somebody, I know there are different circumstances and stuff, but you suck at driving. Have you ever ran into the back of somebody when you're driving on a highway that goes straight?
Yeah, that's
you
amazing.
Either have to not be paying attention or just like driving frilly-nilly, looking at your phone. You dropped a Cheeto, you like bend over and pick it up, and then you run into like 8 people and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Can't waste one of those Cheetos.
I know. It is just ridiculous. I was just thinking that on the way over here. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I cannot go anywhere without there being a billion people going there. It's absurd.
The town that Jacob and I live in 10 years ago, or 14 years ago now when we moved here, but the last 15 years almost, for the first like 8 or 9, it was like laid back. Like it was never overcrowded, never felt like there's too much traffic. It was super chill. But nowadays, dude, it doesn't matter what time of day you go out, you're sitting in traffic no matter where you go. It's awful, which is a shame. I just want to escape to the mountains somewhere and live in a log cabin by myself.
Yes,
That sounds great.
I love that.
That's why I'm jealous of where Ben's moving. He's like moving up to the North Georgia somewhere, but it sounds great. But that reminds me, just real quick, when that gentleman, I call him, his name was Mr. Loomis. I tell people all the time, don't be a Mr. Loomis. I have 2 quick car stories. So Mr. Loomis is a gentleman who failed to yield when I was going through a green light at an intersection once, and I T-boned the crap out of him. Completely totaled my car. Almost destroyed his. So when I smash into this gentleman, I was actually on the phone with Zach at the time, and I remember being like, it was the funniest thing because you could see it coming from a mile away. So I'm about to cross over the intersection. This guy's just like, I was like, I remember telling him, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I just slam on my brakes, skid like 15 feet, and still just smash almost completely through his car. And he gets out of the car, he's like, oh, I thought you were going right. I was like, sir, this is a straight intersection. I was going through the green light. And he was like, oh, whatever. But the funny thing is, when there's car pieces everywhere. My car's like crunched in. His whole side is torn up. I'm like, all right, well, we're in the middle of the intersection. I'm going to pull into this parking lot right over here at the Wendy so I can just be out of people's way. I'm going to be right there. And then we'll call the cops and deal with this situation. He's like, oh, okay. So take my crappy car, like front bumpers hanging off, scraping the ground. I pull into this Wendy's parking lot, like maybe 25 yards away from the scene of the wreck. 25 yards. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, like minutes later, this guy with a gun on his hip and like cowboy boots, and we live in like the boonies of this part of Georgia. I mean, we live in a suburb of Atlanta, but I live in like the countryside sort of. So this guy in his cowboy boots sprints, and he was in a car like down the road that was backed up because of the wreck, sprints full speed to the scene of the wreck, and he's like looking around like all crazy. He's like, and I couldn't tell what was happening because I was far enough away to where I couldn't hear him, but he's like talking to Mr. Loomis, who I just hit. And all of a sudden, they're like talking for a second. All of a sudden, Mr. Loomis points to where I am in the parking lot, and this guy viciously just looks up at me and just takes off in my direction like full speed. I was like, holy crap, who is this guy? What's happening? Runs full speed, gets to me. He's like, are you the guy that just hit this gentleman? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, why are you all the way over here? I was like, well, I was trying to get out of people's way. I'm like 25 yards away from the scene of the wreck. I'm just trying to prevent traffic. He's like, oh. He's like, well, I'm a deputy's bounty hunter. He's like, I'm not on the force, but I'm a bounty hunter, and I wanted to make sure you weren't trying to flee the scene. I was like, no, sir, I'm still standing there. He's like, all right, cool. So he takes off back towards Mr. Loomis full speed. Like, this is what brings this guy to life. Like, he's been waiting for a moment like this. Runs, and he's like, this guy sticks around till the cops get there and is like talking to the cops like, I'm a bounty hunter. I just want to make sure this gentleman wasn't trying to flee the scene. They're like, thank you, sir. We can take it from here. You can go now. But he's stuck around the whole time. But regardless, I tell everyone now, like, never be a Mr. Loomis. Never fail to yield, because there's been so many close calls. Since I'm like terrified to like pull it, like, even like, say you're at a stop sign, you got to turn left, there's like cars coming from each direction. Even if I know for a fact if I like went full speed I could pass this car in time, I was like, I just don't want to risk it, because ever since Mr. Loomis pulled out in front of me, it's like I have this fear of like pulling out in front of someone. Speaking of which, close call, I was telling Jacob this the other night. I was on this back road, and there's this road that was like kind of parallel to this one where you can kind of pull out. Same thing, it's almost like an intersection, but it's just a stop sign instead of an intersection. So I'm driving, there's like a truck like probably the same amount, like 25 yards ahead of me. I'm not too close behind him, so this truck's going, I'm going. All of a sudden, this Pizza Hut delivery car flies like he misses the stop sign. Instead of stopping at the stop sign, flies halfway into the lane of where the cars are coming. Truck had maybe 3 feet to just swerve out of the way and just barely missed them. Swerved and almost went completely off the road. And I was going fast enough that I had to slam on my brakes. And I'm skidding, like, holy crap! Thankfully, where the car was going to pull out in front of us, I could turn into that same lane because it has like both lanes. But I swing in there and just barely miss this guy. And like, Lord knows what.
Did you lay on the horn?
No, I did not.
Dude,
you gotta let people know that they messed up.
Yeah, but I was more focused on like, I just don't want to hit the guy. I could have honked after, I guess. But yeah, he pulled halfway into the road. I don't know why this Pizza Hut delivery man was in such a hurry, but he almost killed us, and it was pretty scary. But
God, maybe he had the same thing like in Spider-Man 2, where his job was on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
If he didn't deliver this pizza in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have the 30-minute guarantee. That's hilarious.
I had a person when we lived in our apartment. I was driving my little Chevy Spark toy car, and this guy pulled out in front of me so hardcore that like I was astonished. I was like, it blew my mind how anybody in their right mind could pull that much in front of me. And I followed him for like a quarter of a mile, and I did not let go of the horn. Like he was getting in different lanes, and I was following, like honking at him. Then he flicked me off.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That means you won, though.
Yeah, exactly. I had a woman hit me, rear end me one time. Didn't do any damage to my car. This was when I was in my Isuzu Rodeo.
Yeah.
95 Isuzu Rodeo, which is funny because I drive a Mustang now for about a year, and have never gotten a ticket ever, but I drove that freaking Rodeo for a year and got like 2 speeding tickets in that giant thing.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Anyways, this lady rear-ended me at a red light.
Is this in the rodeo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like pulled like into the red light and like put on my brakes, and she was behind me and like ran into me, and I was like, what the heck? And I got out of my car, and I was like okay, and she was like, yes, that was your fault, sir. You braked too hard.
Braked too hard.
And I was like, okay. I was like, you do realize that like insurance wise, if you hit the back of me, therefore it's automatically your fault. I was like, because you didn't leave enough space, because my mom sells insurance. Like, I know that. And she was like, well, there's no damage, and she just drives off. I was like, all right, whatever. So yeah, between that and you hitting me, that was about it.
Yeah.
Oh, then I had a giant 18-wheeler run into the back of my Spark one time. That was
holy crap.
Yeah, I told you that. I was just parked in a cul-de-sac in this. Yeah, an 18-wheeler.
Oh my god!
And picture his car's like flying off the side of the road.
He came. I was installing a security system in a house. And
I remember this.
Yeah, he came inside. He was like, "Who drives that little car out there?" And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. He's like, I was just backing up, and I don't think it did a lot of damage. Like my whole back right was like caved in. I was like, yeah, that's nothing, man. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't call the police. I just got his insurance from him and stuff, and it took him forever. He like personally cut me a check of like $2,000 to fix my car. Never fixed my car. Used it as a down payment on my next car.
Right.
So.
Nice.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, those are my car stories.
Speaking of crazy drivers, I was on the way to work one morning, and there was this lady in front of me in this really crappy, beat down truck. She was riding the tail of some person that was driving slow in front of her. She literally, from like your house when I like met up with her to Georgia 400, that highway, she laid on the horn the entire time.
Really?
On that trip. Yeah.
That's impressive.
And she was like swerving all over the road. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I swear this person was like on drugs or something.
It had to have been. That's crazy.
But it was a trip.
Remember that one lady that flew off 400, the bridge of 400, into like a creek? Like, how does that even happen?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. But I saw like the aftermath of it. But she like went into the median and just flew off a cliff into a creek. She survived, but it is a long way down. It's like a 50-foot drop.
People are nuts, man.
The most depressing. I mean, we won't keep talking about car stuff, but the most.
We're 26 minutes.
My goodness, forgive us. I meant to say, if you're still in the podcast right now, you can skip ahead if you visit the description. There's links to like all the different topics. But anyway, the most depressing thing I've ever seen was on a very, very cold winter morning. I was on my way to Georgia Perimeter College at the time. It's like 6:30 in the morning, driving down 400. It's like stop and go traffic. It is like 19 degrees outside. It's freezing. All of a sudden, I look over and there's this car sitting there. This guy just plows into the back of this other car, and I remember thinking like, that sucks so much, because one, it just sucks to rear end anyone. Two, it's freezing outside. It's like a Tuesday morning. I was like, what a terrible turn of events for those poor people. And they had to pull over in the freezing weather and deal with that situation. But it was awful.
I saw a T-bone one time, and there was blood all over the window.
Oh, that's
and the girl I was dating at the time like was bawling her eyes out.
That's awful.
I don't know why. Yeah.
My goodness.
So, yeah. She was like, we need to help them. And I'm like, there's an ambulance there. I'm like, what the hell are we going to do? I don't,
You want to hear something disturbing? Casey swears in her life this is a true story. I don't know if it's true. I choose to believe it because she's my girlfriend. But she says that one time she saw a pregnant mother possum in an intersection get hit by a wheel of a car, and her belly burst open. And like a few baby possums were freaking out, and they all got run over by other cars.
Wow.
I was like, that is awful if that's true.
That's horrible.
I know. But she swears in her life that's why she's like freaked out from possums now, because she saw them all get slaughtered in traffic. Like, that's pretty
she's
brutal.
Scared of possums now?
Well, she doesn't like possums in general. I think she actually...
Possums are scary looking.
Yeah, I think she told me she just like... She gets a weird feeling when she sees possums now because she saw that happen. I'm like, I don't blame you. That's disgusting, but oh well, it happens.
Hey, man. What's the news?
Oh, gosh, we got to think of a better transition. One thing I want to say before we get going is that the offer is still on the table for any of you that listen to this podcast, watch this podcast, wherever you might be. Keep in mind that if you're a music producer or a music writer of any sort, if you see our intro, we like our intro, but we're using music that we wrote for it like over a year and a half ago. It works, it's fine, but we want something new, something fresh. If you can think of some cool music to go to our little intros, that you're a creative person, you want to whip something up for us and send it our way, and we enjoy it, we will most certainly pay you for it, because we love to...
and if it sucks, sorry. You spent all that time and you're out of luck.
But for example, Dan Lester, super talented friend of ours, the motion graphics designer, his information is in the description of all of our videos for any of his services you may or may not need. But he made us our fantastic intros. We love them. So we want to complement those intros with some really cool music. And unfortunately, Preston and I, our schedules conflict quite frequently now. It's amazing we can even get together on Saturdays to do the podcast. Thankfully, we can. So it's difficult for us to just like sit down for a certain period of time and like brainstorm about that kind of thing. So if you guys feel inspired to write us some music, we would love that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, new
preferably
stuff.
some dope ass dubstep COD montage stuff.
Some dope ass beats.
Yeah. We don't actually mean that. I mean, if you do dubstep, sure, go for it. But we don't want to be like another generic channel where we just have dubstep on all of our videos. So
there's a difference between dubstep and good electronic music.
Well, exactly. That's why I used. That's why I used. What are they called? I can't even remember the name all of a sudden.
Oh crap! I know what you're
in
talking
all of our E3 videos.
Yeah.
Glitch Mob.
Glitch Mob, yeah, because I think that's some cool electronic music.
I was gonna say like flying in the sky or something.
Explosions in the sky? No, I haven't used Explosions yet, but they're a great band too. But they're not really electronic; they're actual music, but it's all instrumental.
All right, hey man, what's the news?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
boys, a lot of stuff happened this week. I won't say mostly, but a few disappointing things happened.
I was gonna say a depressing week.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with what I found to be pretty disappointing. I'm sure some other people can relate, but this comes from Vicky Blake of... I didn't see where it came from. This is from Vicky Blake. She's a journalist. Quote, Warner Brothers has confirmed Batman Return to Arkham will not be ready for its slated July 29th release date. Via a short statement on the official forums, the publisher acknowledged the game needs, quote, additional time and delayed the Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City remastered box set indefinitely. Quote, after reviewing the progress of the project, the team at WB Games has decided to delay the release of Batman Return to Arkham to give the team at Virtuous Games additional time to deliver a polished Batman Arkham experience, says company representative Steve Grayson. Quote, we do not have a release date yet and will be sure to communicate that once we are sure the game will be ready. We know this is disappointing news, but we feel the extra time will allow the team to create the best gaming experience for our fans. After a number of leaks beginning in March, the Batman Return to Arkham Remastered Collection was finally announced in May. The box set is set to feature improved graphics as well as upgraded models, environments, lighting effects, and shaders, and comprises Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, along with all their associated DLC content and Game of the Year Edition bonuses, end quote. So, I will say... I've said it a million times. Love those games. I was going to buy the collection. I'm still going to buy it eventually. But I was looking forward to that because I was like...
If it comes out.
Yeah, if. I was like, if and when that comes out at this point, I was going to play it until, like, Deus Ex comes out, No Man's Sky comes out, just kind of fill up the rest of my summer. So I was like looking forward to that. Now, especially Asylum, because I haven't played that since the beginning of when that series began, and I love that game. Especially because it was just more linear and it's just kind of like straight to the point. It was a cool story, and I like how it all took place in the asylum. So I was looking forward to it. That's disappointing, but I'll live. How do you guys feel about that?
Not to beat a dead horse, but I know everybody in the world has said this, but the comparison videos did not favor the remasters. Did you see them?
Really?
What do you mean?
The side-by-side comparisons of the original and the remaster.
What about them?
It looked worse.
Did it? Yeah. That's weird, because I saw a comparison where it did not look worse.
Oh, the video they initially released, it looked worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was like the general consensus, is that it did look worse. And I think the feedback they got from that potentially played a role in this, because... And I think another thing that played a role is that they are completely upgrading these games from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4.
That's probably challenging.
And that's probably, it's not just like an up-res, it's like changing engines completely. So we're not engineers. We don't know what that entitles. So who knows like the complications that has to do with it. But the only negative things that I had heard and I saw for myself is that the game didn't look any better. It, in some scenes, looked worse.
That's a shame. Yeah. Hopefully they resolve that.
And hopefully they put Arkham Origins in it, because I think that game gets way too much like hate for literally no reason. It is... I think it's a solid game. It's a very solid game. And I think at some parts I enjoyed it more than Arkham Knight.
Yeah, same with me.
So...
Yep. Well, that's a shame. It happens.
Yeah.
So there's so many delays these days that it's just kind of goes in one ear and out the other.
And they probably just didn't want another Arkham Knight catastrophe where they released... If they released another Arkham game with all the technical like crap and stuff with it, like... Dang.
I forgot that it didn't even come out on PC. Did they scratch it completely?
They removed it from Steam and like offered refunds, and then came out like a few months later. PC. No, you can't.
Oh, you can.
They re-released it. They just had to implement a ton of fixes and stuff.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But oh well, guys, Bioshock the Collection is coming September 13th. It's finally announced and confirmed after months and months of rumors. I don't know why they didn't just be like, oh yeah, it's coming. Like, it isn't like it's some huge big secret, but it's still cool that it's announced finally. So it's September 13th. Can pre-order it now for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But that's pretty cool.
Dude, I'm excited to play through all of those. Literally all of them.
Me too.
Yeah, especially the Minerva's Den DLC for Bioshock 2 that I've heard that's some of the best DLC ever put out.
Really?
Yeah, it's strictly a single story DLC. yeah, I've heard nothing but just fantastic things about it. I've even heard that justifies you even having bought the game. Like, it's better than the actual game.
Really?
So yeah, I'm excited to play that.
That's awesome.
And Infinite, freaking love Infinite. That's one of the few games where the story just literally blew my mind.
Right.
Mostly because I couldn't understand half of it, but just the ending revelation of it just literally blew my mind.
Yeah.
So and the first one, of course, is one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, I'm most excited about that one because I haven't played it since 360 when it first came out, so I'm pumped about it.
I've never played the first one, so that's why I'm really excited.
You're in for a treat
That
for
is
sure.
such a good game.
I don't even have to play it again to already remember that that game definitely holds up, especially remastered. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine it being better than Infinite.
It is.
I love
gameplay
Infinite.
wise. It is. Infinite. I mean, in a lot of, I think it's different. I think gameplay wise it is because you have a weapon wheel.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry just 2 weapons at a time. The splicers, I think, are funner than just the citizens of Columbia. I don't want to put down Infinite at all because I think that's a fantastic game, but I kind of think they took a little bit of a step back gameplay wise in Infinite as opposed to the original Bioshock. But yeah, these are 3 games that especially First and Infinite, that everybody needs to play for sure.
Right. Definitely. Exciting stuff, guys. We're speaking of Overwatch. We enjoy the game. I know we have a lot of friends from the community that also enjoy it. Got some competitive mode details I wanted to share. With those of you that may not know exactly what's going on with competitive mode, here's some details. I'm going to just knock them out real quick and we can discuss. Anyway, so you start out in competitive mode. You got to play 10 placement matches, which is not unlike some other games.
It's like Halo 5, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you play 10 placement matches. Upon completion, you'll receive a portrait icon, a Season 1 spray, and you're assigned a rating between 1 and 100. The higher your rating, the better you are, obviously. During matches, if you win, you gain points. If you lose points. If opponents are if say you're playing an opponent that's a much higher level than you, you gain more points if you beat them, and you lose less points in defeat. And vice versa. If you're a much higher level and you beat a team lower than you, that's a lower level than you, then you're not going to get as many points. Same goes.
But if you lose to them, you're going to lose a crap ton.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when matches are loading, you can see your skill rating, including everyone else's in the match. And also, I like also how when your team's selecting all your characters, you cannot see initially who's picking on the enemy team, so you can't right off the bat be like, all right, we're going to counter them in this way.
You can't in original play either.
You can't?
No.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I guess you can on the pause screen, can't you though?
Not until you actually see them. Not till they run out that door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you do that in
You can't before the game actually starts.
Yeah. I know, but can you during the game, just like regular? Okay.
So the reason why that was different in my mind is because in ranked mode, when you actually see the pre-game screen, you see your whole team and you see everyone else in the other team. You can see their ranks, so you just can't see who their characters they're picking at the beginning.
You can also see who's in a pre-made group and who's not.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
Yeah, if you land at the end of each season, if you land in the top 500 players in your region at the end of the season, you'll receive the animated Ilios spray, which is that cool little shielded looking Ilios spray with the watchtower or the lighthouse and everything that kind of is animated.
There's clouds moving and stuff.
It's pretty cool. Golden guns are available for 300 competitive points, and you earn a single competitive point every time you win a match. But at the end of each season, you're awarded a lump sum of points at the end of each season. The amount's unknown, but say you get I won 127 matches this season in competitive play. Well, let's say the lump sum is 150.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But say you don't hit 300, maybe the lump sum will bump you up and you'll be able to afford a golden weapon. Me personally, I kind of just prefer the different skins because all their weapons look different too with all the different skins. And golden guns are kind of generic at this point.
You
in my
can
opinion.
put that golden gun on every skin though.
Yeah.
So.
But that's what my point is saying is that golden guns are cool. I guess that's kind of like a profession. Is look how good I was in competitive play.
Yeah.
But
you're the only person I've heard that is not excited about the golden guns.
I'm not saying I'm not excited. I'm just saying I like the look of some of the skins that you can pick for these characters. Their legendary skins make their weapons look really cool.
Right, yeah.
But if you get a golden gun, I guess
they
it's
can just be gold.
Yeah.
So,
but if you have a golden one, I guess that's the way you're saying look, I kicked ass last season in competitive
if
play.
you just have a really cool legendary weapon and then make it gold, that just makes you look even more badass.
It does. That's certainly true. On escort and hybrid maps that involve a payload, instead of playing one side or the other, like offense versus defense, you play both offense and defense. So say you start on offense, you score the payload, then it switches and now you're on defense instead of it just being one round and it's over.
I like that.
You play both, which is pretty cool. And for an example, if both teams successfully deliver the payload, let's say we play offense, we deliver it. Or on defense, the other team delivers it. you'll enter a sudden death round where you play another round of offense and defense with only the amount of time left that you, like say we scored the payload and we had 45 seconds left in that round to score it. Well, when we go to the sudden death round, we will only have 45 seconds to get as far as we can in those 45 seconds, and vice versa. Say the other team scored it with 2 minutes left. They have 2 minutes to make it farther. So whoever makes it the furthest on their amount of time left is who wins the sudden death round. And that game mode, which is pretty cool. On capture and hold maps, it's just the best of 5, which is cool. So you just go back to back to back to whoever wins. Now, the first season begins this month. It goes for about a month and a half with a 2-week break at the end of August, and season 2 begins at the beginning of September. At the end of each season, you'll keep all of your rewards, but you'll lose your ranking. So you must complete the placement matches again to receive a new ranking at the start of each season. And a couple of the other details are you can still play as duplicate characters. For example, if you literally like, let's be 5 Lucia or 6 Lucios, you could if you want. Which I think is cool. Is like I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this, and our friends who play Overwatch, I want to hear their opinions as well, because I think it's good that they're leaving this, and I agree with a lot of people that say they think it's good that they're leaving the option to play duplicate characters, because it's almost like it can be, in a way, a strategic thing. Like, say, like, oh, there's this one capture and hold thing where it'd be helpful if we had, like, 2 Winstons or 2 Lucios or something, or 2 Reapers, like, whatever the combination might be that suits your need. Sometimes that can be a strategic thing. So if you limit it, in a way, there's a part of me that'd be like, oh, it'd be cool if, like, you pick a character, you're stuck with that character for the round. Maybe there'd be a cool game mode that's like that, but I think Overwatch, like, as a whole, I think it's cool that they're leaving like that option.
I mean, that's kind of like, that's kind of the point of the game, is
what the game's built on.
Yeah,
is countering what your opponents are playing.
Yeah, so
exactly.
that kind of defeat the whole point of the game.
Yeah, but I heard other people talking about like they'd like to see some sort of game mode where you could like just to see what it would be like to be locked.
I mean, that'd be fine
as
like just a game type you could pick.
But overall, I'm glad they're leaving that.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys are as well. But it's only, currently we talked about this at lunch. It's only available on Xbox One and PC at the time. PS4 still waiting on. But this is from Blizzard. They said, "Quote: First, we wanted to be upfront and let players know that that we won't be able to release our competitive play patch on all platforms at the same time. The patch will be going live on PC." This was a few days ago, but they said PC today, while PlayStation 4 and Xbox One players can expect it sometime next week. It has come to Xbox One. And we don't have the exact date to share, but we confirm that the patch is going through approvals right now on both platforms. We know this isn't an ideal way to deliver the new content, so we're going to continue to refine our patching processes over the next few months in an effort to sync up our release dates across platforms as closely as possible. Although our Battle.net client will always allow us to be more agile on PC, we hope to reach a point where we can release major updates on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 simultaneously. And it says, in the meantime, stay tuned to playoverwatch.com or follow them on Twitter for all the latest patch news and updates. So yeah, it's a shame that PlayStation 4 is still behind. And I know we discussed how, I'm going to talk about it later, but the Fallout 4 mods are delayed for PS4 as well. So PS4 is kind of getting some slack on these games recently, which is disappointing.
Now, if I'm level 1 and you're level like 50 something, can we play together?
In competitive play?
Yeah.
I think there is like I think it's to 50 that you have to be in range of the other person.
50?
Yeah.
Okay, that should be easy then. Fine. There's no way we'll be 50
There
points
can't be
apart.
like a huge gap between the skill of each player.
That makes sense.
Can you imagine just a game of level 1s? Everybody's just like running into walls and stuff. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's actually level 1. I don't think anyone's actually hundreds. A lot of people are in the 50s and 60s.
That'd be interesting to see, just like play get a team of guys and just purposely see how low of a rank you can get.
Yeah. Now I'm really excited about though, because I regardless, that what I am really excited about is that we play quick play and we're still like very competitive. I mean, we have fun with it, but we want to win, which is cool. So I can't imagine like how fun.
A lot of people don't feel that way. I feel like half the people me and Jacob played with the other night were just like thinking it was like some KD game or something, running around trying to get kills. Like 4 McCrees running around.
Oh, sounds awful.
I swear we had one game where there were 2 Reapers. They didn't switch the whole game. Then we had another game where there were 2 Bastions. They didn't switch.
Yeah, well, that's why we definitely need a team of 6 if we can get
That's the thing, though. If we play with a team of 6, it's probably going to be harder because there are going to be other teams of 6 that we play, and they're probably going to be, they've played a lot together.
That's true.
Like, assuming we don't practice the game or anything, but, the more people you have playing together, the harder the game's going to be.
Hey, man, it's just for fun, dude.
Yeah, it's just
competitive move.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Yeah, but yeah, I know we play with Edgar and his brother a lot, so we need a 6th man. I know there's a lot of people from the community. If anyone's up for being our 6th man when competitive mode starts in PS4, let's do it, because I'd like to see us make a little It's Obvious team and go to town.
Let's do it. Join that PlayStation community.
Yes.
It's Obvious Gaming.
It's Obvious Gaming. You can find it in the Discover tab of the community's listing in PSN. So it's It's pretty cool. I'm excited to play competitive mode when it launches. Hopefully soon. Boys, I got some details on Mass Effect Andromeda's combat. I thought this was a little interesting tidbit because we didn't get much of what we wanted at E3 this year, but we got some writing that kind of describes stuff, which is pretty cool. This comes
Shoot
from
some stuff, take some cover.
Exactly. This comes from Robert Renzi at PushSquare.com. Quote, Mass Effect Andromeda is catapulting BioWare's role-playing series into new territory with its vast open-world areas that are yours to explore as you hop from planet to planet. But this huge change in design has forced the studio to rethink a lot of the franchise's other core elements. In particular, the Canadian developer has had little choice but to rework the combat system. In previous games, Shepard and the gang would utilize cover to edge their way through various linear combat scenarios, but with an open world to consider, things obviously aren't as quite so straightforward. Quote, it's going to be more open world, more freeform, with more choice. Those are all things that have definitely factored into the way we've developed our core gameplay, like our third-person shooting. Creative director Mac Walters explains to Games Radar, so far I can honestly say the combat is more fluid and more organic than it's ever been before, end quote. How do you feel about that, Preston?
That was one of the things I said a while ago in one of our podcasts that I was curious about, like how they were going to do that with it being more open world. And they really didn't say how. They were just like, trust us, it's going to be better. Yeah. So I'm still interested to see how that's going to work, with it not being linear, not having like corridors to go down with cover and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there'll be places like that, but yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how they go about that, because I have no clue how they do it.
Oh yeah, me neither.
So I'm glad I'm not developing it.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of big where it's like, oh, it's more fluid and organic than it's ever been before. Like anyone can say that. We still haven't seen it in action. Hopefully this fall, when they said we'd see more, maybe we'll see it a bit more. Yeah. But the only thing I could imagine that I could picture being kind of cool is if, say, you're like on a desert-ish type planet and you're like walking through a canyon or something, and all of a sudden this alien force kind of pops out up in like the cliffs and like behind rocks and just start firing at you, and you're like in this like trench, like canyon or something. You can like take cover behind like rock boulders and stuff. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. I'm just trying to imagine what it would look like. I'm sure they'll
be covering the environment.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, like you said, I'm trying to imagine what it would be like, but it's cool because I'm really pumped for that game, and the fact that it's more open world is interesting. I mean, there's obviously like the hub worlds in Mass Effect, but the open world combat and stuff will be interesting to see how they tackle that. So
maybe like they have jetpacks allow you to fly around and shoot. Because I know in that like leaked footage, it showed a dude flying around with a jetpack.
Right.
So maybe that could there's more traversal in the combat. You're not just stop and popping the entire time. There's different things like that. So
yeah, how do you feel, Jacob? You excited about Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but I've never played Mass Effect, so I don't know I don't really know how the combat was prior. I just know it was cover based. So
it's very RPG-ish Gears of War.
Yeah.
So there's a gearing system for your character.
Yeah. It's kind of like Division in a way. It's not online, but like you pop in and out of cover and shoot guys.
There's like different enemies have like different shields that different
like Destiny
ability. Yeah. There's like shields that I'm trying to remember, like Mass Effect 3. Like you have fire bullets that like take down a particular shield, and you can like switch your types of ammo at like will to like take down different shields. Kind of like Destiny. Did you say that, Destiny?
I did say that.
Yeah, exactly like Destiny, kind of. But like Stasis takes down like blue shields and stuff. It's kind of like that, but it's third person. You have two people with you that you can command them. Like if you're pointing at a guy and you're like, oh, use Stasis, they'll pop out and like shoot it at them and stuff. So it's fun. The combat's awesome. Especially like the jump from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2. It was definitely more action based, but in my opinion it was better because the first one's combat wasn't my favorite thing. Still a fantastic game, but I think they definitely improved on it in 2 and 3 for sure. Hopefully they make a remaster of all of those games.
Yeah. Because wasn't that a rumor or something?
It's been like going around just to prep people for Andromeda. I feel like they would have announced it by now because this holiday season it would had to have come out if they're gonna shoot for the first quarter of 2017. But if they're not,
it's not gonna hit that.
If it's coming out next holiday season, then maybe they could drop it in like this coming March or May or something like that.
That'd be a good time for sure.
They got to give people that haven't played it, like Jacob and stuff, ample time to get through that, because those are 3 very massive games, like absolutely huge games.
That's probably why they won't do it, because they're all so massive. That'd be a lot of work. Plus, if they're trying to make this new game,
one can hope.
Who knows?
Looks super cool though. From the
throw it at an intern to up-res it, maybe.
Yeah, and knock this out real quick, man. Yeah. We'll hire you if you can pull this off.
Hey, could you stop getting us coffee for a second and please up-res these games?
Oh man, I'll never forget being an intern at recording studios. I was excellent at making coffee. I was excellent at dusting. I could do a lot of good things like that. Giant waste of time. I told him that when I left too. So I don't regret it either. But moving on, boys, this is from Alicia Judge of IGN. Quote, Resident Evil 7's lead developers have divulged more details on the finished game, confirming that players won't be switching zombies for ghosts. The official demo of the game was packed with references to the occult, leading fans of the series to believe that the full game would essentially be a ghost story. However, director Koshi Nakanishi? Can't do the Japanese names, I'm sorry. Everyone knows that by now. Said in a Capcom Unity blog post that, quote, I think you can look at the trailer or the demo and get that impression, but don't worry, we haven't just thrown out Resident Evil as it exists and turned it into a ghost story. It will all make sense in the end. Nakanishi, I have to think about his name every time. Nakanishi told IGN this month that the teaser demo is a, quote, tonal preview and a bespoke experience that isn't just a slice of gameplay from the main game. He expanded upon in that blog saying that in the 20-year history of Resident Evil, you know that the key pillars of the game are fear and horror, exploration of the environment, puzzle-solving elements, resource management, and combat against enemies. Those are all in this game, but we wanted to start off with the first... Are you thinking about Resident Evil 6 when he says that?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Those are all in the game, but we wanted to start off with the first 2 hour, or the first 2 horror and exploration, and you get to experiencing those 2 pillars up front. Quote, if you're thinking that because those other elements aren't in the demo, that won't be in the game, it's not the case. We're focusing up front about the message of horror coming home in this demo. Exactly how the game will weave together these threads is still being kept under wraps, as well, I cannot read today if you haven't noticed, as well as how it will sit in the wider Resident Evil canon. Quote, after I say it's a new numbered title in the series and you try the demo, you may say, really? Because it looks nothing like any of that, but trust me, Nakakashi explained. I think I've said his name different every time. We need to have a bit of mystery in survival horror, so we're trying to make you wonder when you play it how this could possibly be connected. That's part of the appeal. He also confirmed that the QuickTime events introduced to the series in Resident Evil 4 won't be making a comeback, with producer, that's another Japanese name, I'm not even try, adding, I know there are a lot of people that will be relieved to hear that, end quote. So the point of all of that is the demo is not even slightly a full representation of what the final game will be like.
Well, that stinks.
I know, because I really enjoyed
it. What's the point of the demo then?
He said they wanted to give you a vibe of the horror and exploration. He's like, we're starting with those 2. Will they have another demo before the full game? I don't know, but he said they're still bringing in resource management, combat with enemies, puzzle solving elements, blah, blah, blah. So apparently all the pillars of the Resident Evil franchise will still be in there.
I don't understand that.
I mean, it's got to be Resident Evil. They might as well,
especially because it's numbered.
If it wasn't numbered, if it was a complete reboot, then I'd be interested to see what they're going to do with that. But with it being 7, it has to have all that other stuff in it, right? Because that's just a part of the franchise as it is now, as a continuation. So I'll be interested to see how combat and stuff is gonna work. And like I've said before, I don't think zombies are scary at all. So that's what kind of freaked me out about the demo is the ghost, because I've seen people play it, and have you seen the girl ghost when y'all were playing it?
No, I did
That's
not.
What's scary is that you're playing it and there's this girl ghost all around you and you cannot even know she's there.
Really?
Yeah, that scared me.
How do you know?
I felt violated when I knew I played that demo and didn't even notice her. She's in closets. There's this one where when you get in the house and you turn around and she's standing right there and she just disappears.
Really?
Yeah, and that's you're playing the game and you're just completely oblivious to everything around you. That's scary.
Wow, that is scary.
That's how we go through our lives.
Scarier. Yeah.
So at home at night. Yeah, it's dark.
But no, I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to be great. I'll be interested to see how they do the combat and stuff with it being in first person. Is the whole game first person? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's exciting though.
Yeah,
to say the least. Especially playing it on VR. I'm pumped.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like with it being in VR, the whole thing's got to be first person. I think that's a confirmation right there, saying the entire game's in VR, that it's going to be in first person.
Definitely.
Not to say that third person games can't be in VR, but I don't see why they would release this demo and stuff and not keep it in first person. Kind of same with PT and Silent Hills. Like, I feel like obviously that game was going to be in first person as well. But this demo has been downloaded more than 2 million times.
That's impressive.
Yeah. This has caught them a lot of attention. People are still trying to find secrets and stuff. Like that dummy finger y'all found. Nobody knows what it's for. So a lot of people are going crazy trying to figure out what, trying to find all the secrets and stuff. So their PT strategy of releasing this demo and stuff, I think it's worked in their favor for sure, because a lot of people are way more pumped up about this. So
for sure,
yeah,
it's exciting. A lot to look forward to. That's January, right?
Yeah,
the 19th. Sometime in January.
Yeah, January.
Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 is coming.
Yeah,
October 25th. You gonna play it?
Sure. When is it coming out?
The 25th of October, another October game.
Oh, no.
I will not be playing it in October. I might play it like early
I'll play it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Xenoverse 1.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because my dream came true. I got to create my own custom Saiyan. I got to level up and learn all these Kamehameha blasts and all the fun powers and fight all these classic characters, and I finally unlocked the power to become a Super Saiyan. And as soon as I became a Super Saiyan, I was like, that's awesome. And then I stopped playing. Yeah. So... not that it was a bad game, but it didn't really hang on to me for very long. But
it was fun playing co-op with you guys.
It was fun. I remember us fighting, what was his name from Battle of the Gods?
We fought Super Saiyan God Goku.
That's who it was.
Did we lose? I think we did. I think
me
and him died really quickly because we were so
I know me
leveled.
and you went back when we were pretty high leveled and almost beat him like 3 or 4 times in a row. And then I knew we leveled up a lot, but we never went back and fought him. But I liked it. It was fun. Yeah. It looks pretty much the same.
It does, yeah.
So
I told you earlier, I'm sold though because you can become a Super Saiyan 3, and that's awesome, and it actually makes your hair long. So that in itself sold me. I'm like, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
But I'm trying to think of other things like that they can, or maybe they have or have not improved on from the first one. That would have been cool. Like, I mean, there's a lot of you said like better drops and stuff, didn't you, Jacob?
Yeah, just. All like the grinding in that game was ridiculous. Yeah, it's way too much.
Yeah,
the act of leveling up took forever in that game. I really liked when I think of like an online Dragon Ball Z game, this is fine and stuff, and it's cool making your own character and playing with other people. But I would love for them to port. This will never happen in a billion years, to port that DBZ MMO over to console.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. So cool. I would love that.
I've like bootlegged that game on my PC on like Korean servers and played it, and it was so fun. I had such a blast playing it for a while, but I eventually I was just like, I can't continue this. Like, I can't read anything. I don't know what's going on. But I'd love to play that game on my PlayStation 4 in America, which is probably the most unlikely thing to ever happen. So yeah.
One can dream.
Yes.
We still need to watch it. Was it Resurrection F? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still need to watch that.
Yes.
I told you when Jacob and I watched Battle of the Gods on Evan's projector screen, which is essentially like a mini movie theater screen. It was so awesome. I was like blown away at how good that movie was. So pumped to watch that at some point. But we should get together and have a little date and watch it sometime.
I like that.
I think the three of us should. Maybe we should just go to Evan's and tell him, hey, let's watch this movie.
Yeah, and kick him out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get out of your house.
Make it a place of our own. But guys, this one comes from Robert Ramsey at pushsquare.com. Quote, PlayStation 4 mod support for Fallout 4 has fallen foul of another setback today as Bethesda has revealed that the incoming mods... I'm going to stop for a second. You have more to say about this after this. It came out this morning. This is from like a few days ago.
Okay.
Good luck, Jacob. Revealed that the incoming mods beta on Sony's console has been delayed. Naturally, we assume this means that actual mod functionality, which was supposedly going to be in place relatively soon, will now be pushed back. It's also worth remembering that in May, the developer said that the mod support would be heading into PS4 in June, but obviously that never happened. Quote, we will update everyone when we can, states Bethesda's latest post on Twitter, but no specific time frame has been given. The wait continues. It's a shame, Preston.
Am I going to have to slap a bitch again?
You just might have to.
Am I going to have to come over there?
I don't know what the deal is with Fallout and PlayStation recently, but it's not cool.
I would never call you a bitch, Todd. I'm sorry.
Todd's the man.
Todd is the man. I love that man. I might have a sexual attraction to him.
I don't blame you at all. Every time he comes out on stage,
I'll leave that up to you guys
there's a flutter in my heart that I feel every time.
Yeah, but what is it with the whole thing about, and granted, like I've said several times on the show, we know jack crap about the technicalities of anything.
Yep.
So, having said that, when the PlayStation 4 was first announced, they had all the developers come out. All these people say that the PlayStation 3 was just a pain in the ass to program for, which is why Bethesda's games typically ran like garbage. Fallout 3 and Skyrim, for the most part, did not run well on PlayStation 3, especially Skyrim. That took forever to get better. Thank goodness I played it on 360.
Yeah.
But hearing from my PlayStation brethrens, they were saying it was awful. Now, come to PlayStation 4, all the developers are saying this is so much easier to program for, blah, 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 blah. It runs games typically better than Xbox One, you know, blah, 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 blah. You've heard it all before. Right. So why is it Bethesda is having such a hard just time with PlayStation 4? First, the Far Harbor, and now we can't even get the mods to work, and they've delayed it indefinitely.
Right. And
they were saying at the time the amount of data for these mods, I think, was limited to like 900 megabytes, whereas the Xbox One could do 2 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So, and they're trying to improve the Xbox One as of now to give it more, you know, more space to be able to download these mods.
Right.
So, like I said, not only will we not even have the mods for Lord knows for how long, but as of now, they weren't even a gigabyte.
Yeah.
So, like, why is just their engine not work well with PlayStation 4?
I don't know. It's a shame. I don't want to go into this too much, as we've said it 100 times, but it is crazy to look at like The Witcher, for example. Works on everything. It runs smoothly. It plays well. It looks great. No issues. I mean, obviously there's going to be hiccups in any game of that size from time to time, but overall runs smooth. And you come over to Fallout, and for some reason on PlayStation is having all these issues. Like we said, we're not going to be like, F Bethesda, get your act together. We're not saying that at all. It's just disappointing to hear this, because like there's two strikes in a row for PlayStation with Fallout 4, and we love Fallout 4.
Yes.
I still love that game. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm jumping into Far Harbor as soon as I platinum Ratchet and Clank. I should be able to knock Ratchet and Clank out this week, because I really am itching to play Far Harbor, because I haven't played Fallout in a while. And from what you've told me, what others told me, it's really fun.
Far Harbor's
works.
Great. It's fun.
So I'm pumped about it. It's just a shame, and I was looking forward to like, oh, maybe by the time I get to Far Harbor, the mod support will be there, and I can just like go crazy with it. Who knows? But it's a bummer, man. 'Cause I remember when they first announced that back in the day that they were going to bring mods to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. We were like, holy crap! And like they, you know, it's a shame too. And like, it'll be out in June. It's like I should have known not to get my hopes up, but when they delayed it, I was like, man, this sucks.
What does this say for Skyrim too?
I know, makes me nervous.
There is pretty much from the trailer, it looked like they're saying mods are available at the ready.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe once they figure this is the first time I think anybody has done mods for console games. I'm not saying that like people haven't done mods to console games. Right. I've done mods to console games before, like especially on 360. Yeah. But this is the first time the developer has been like encouraged downloading these and like made it readily available to anybody. Right. So I know that's probably something hard to like implement because nobody's done it before, as far as I know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But so maybe once they figure it out, implementing it into Skyrim and stuff, they've already done it. It'll be easy. So but yeah, I would like to know why it's PlayStation. So
yeah, me too. I would love that question answered as well. But I hope the mods work and stuff for Skyrim. I hope Skyrim just runs in general on PS4 at this point. But if by some miracle the mods do work, it all runs smoothly at the launch for PlayStation 4 in October, I think that's definitely, obviously, the best way to replay Skyrim. One, it being remastered, and two, just like throw some crazy mods on there. Sounds like a ton of fun just thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not like bat crap crazy about mods. I will definitely have gotten some. Primarily like aesthetic things, just like to make my guy look cooler. Like I've heard there's a mod to like have the gun on your back. Right. Heck yeah, I'd do that. Just stupid stuff like that. So I'm not completely like depressed by this, but it's just it's confusing to know why this is happening.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a disappointing time for Fallout, but we will keep our heads held high because I trust in Todd Howard, despite the downfall of the PS4 Fallout experience as of late. I trust that man. He's gonna bring us through. He's gonna bring us to the promised land. Yeah, I believe it.
Because he is in charge of it all. He's at the computers as we speak.
He's at the computers. He does all the talking. He does everything himself. So that's why we put all the faith in him. Yeah. Continuing on. From James Vincent of The Verge, quote, Sony has announced it's ending support for the game streaming service Ustream on PlayStation 4. Gamers will be unable to stream their games or view others' broadcasts on Ustream from August 1st onwards. This includes watching Ustream via the PlayStation Vita on the PlayStation app or using Live from PlayStation on the PS4 itself. It's not the biggest blow to PS4 owners, though. Although Sony did not say why it's cutting support for Ustream, the service simply wasn't as popular as its competitors. PS4 owners will still be able to create and watch broadcasts on YouTube, Twitch, and Dailymotion, which is more than enough options for streamers and fans. Quote, we apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and we appreciate your understanding, said Sony in a blog post, adding that the August 1st cutoff date may shift depending on the region, end quote. This is not a surprise at all. I think at the beginning when they announced you can stream on Twitch and Ustream, I think the first thought that went through my head was like, who streams on Ustream?
I thought everybody thought that.
Yeah.
That's like, they're like, we're canceling Ustream, and like, you hear nothing.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
Just crickets.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't think this is big news to anyone because it's just like, oh, obviously. But I threw it in there for maybe you never know when someone's like, holy crap, I stream everything on Ustream on PS4. This kills me. But I thought that was just pretty funny because it reminded me of like, like there's like the delay of the Fallout mods in PS4 and stuff, and it's just like, oh, we're also losing Ustream. It sucks to be a PS4 owner today, but not a big deal. But this one's a little bigger, and this may or may not apply to Jacob. You may or may not care, but quote, this is from Matt Porter of IGN, by the way. Quote, the final wave of PlayStation VR headset pre-orders went live recently, but they're already sold out. According to GameSpot, a GameStop representative said its entire allocation of PSVR units sold out within minutes. Sony said yesterday there won't be any more pre-order opportunities now, so if you haven't been able to pre-order, you'll have to wait until the full release on October 13th. If you did manage to pre-order, or you'll definitely be picking one up, keep an eye out for PlayStation's VR Wiki Guide. It's got all the games coming to the platform. You can find a comparison of the hardware versus Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and HTC Vive. So PSVR completely sold out. How does that make you feel, Jacob?
I saw that. Like, I saw them, I think it was GameStop that posted that they were going to be selling them like the next day. And I thought about getting one, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need one day one.
Think about it. Preston and I both will have one, and you're here at my house every weekend. You're going to play it plenty.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm so excited for VR, but like, I don't need it right now. I think I'm kind of developing as a human being. I don't need things right when they come out,
I do.
I can wait.
I need it now.
Plus, like you said, you guys are going to have it. I'm going to be able to, try some things out. So.
I'm stoked for it.
I'm excited too.
That's my most anticipated thing. I can't wait to put that thing on again. I'm so excited.
See, I'm more excited for all these games coming out. But that's just me.
I mean, I'm excited too. I'm
not
excited
saying you're not.
like crazy for Dishonored 2. And there's so many games coming out, I forget what's coming out.
That's
but
ridiculous.
The thing that, like, if I could just have it right now, I'd pick PlayStation VR because it's just so different than anything I've played. So
that it is.
Yeah. Hopefully I won't be like 2 days. I'm like, all right, that was cool. I'm like, put it up in my closet.
Yeah, there's not like one particular VR title I'm excited for. I'm just excited in general just to play it again because it was cool.
Right. Yeah.
But
plus, I probably wouldn't have been able to get one in time anyway. Because if they sold out, in 2 minutes or something?
Yeah, literally minutes. So it was pretty wild. And Preston went out in the battlefield for he and I to pre-order it the first
Amazon, within 2 seconds, we're gone. So I did.
It's impressive.
We had to go to the Best Buy website, and they had plenty there. So I guess nobody thinks to go there.
That's where we went for our experience.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. You can also check out our experiences and our impressions of PlayStation VR. We played the demo of it at Best Buy's Experience PlayStation event. It's on our YouTube page. If you're listening on Spotify, Google Play, Audio Boom, anywhere else but YouTube, you can visit our YouTube channel at It's Obvious Gaming to check that out if you have any interest whatsoever. But I have some pretty solid VR questions for us that comes from a new friend of ours named Stephen Garney. Found us on Spotify. I talked to him a bit on Facebook, and he asked me some. Yeah, hey Steven.
How you doing?
Honor to have you here with us. He asked me some very good questions. I asked him if it was cool if we asked them on the podcast, not only to talk amongst ourselves, because I know you guys will have a lot to add to this, but our friends from the community. If you have any thoughts on these questions whatsoever, that'd be great. And just so everyone knows, if anyone has any questions or topics they'd like to send our way that you'd love to hear discussed on this show, you can reach out to us on YouTube through the comments. You can message us on Facebook like Steven did. Instagram's a thing as well. Or on Twitter, I discovered which hashtag we can use. No one else is using it. You can use the hashtag AskIOG. That's ASKIOG. Stands for obviously Ask It's Obvious Gaming. Send your questions or topic ideas our way on Twitter. We'll check them out and we'll add them to the show because that just brings more spice and flavor and excitement to the podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the first question. This is great. He says, quote, as a rather introverted person in my young 20s, I sometimes find it hard to find a community of people or friends that are into gaming and technology as much as I am. I was wondering, other than doing something like connecting with communities like yours, what do you think is a good way to find a more local group of people with similar interests as ours? Let me hear your thoughts.
I have two different answers.
Okay.
Local group, that's harder.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
That is, depending on where you work,
Yep.
kind of just sparking conversations there.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, if you're a hardcore gamer, based on my experience, I hardly find anybody ever at the place that I've worked that have any interest in what I like, games I like playing, and just my overall, like, I'm not going to say obsession, but appreciation, that's a better word, of video games.
Right.
Than I. So that's a little harder. Maybe this is going to sound really dumb, and I would never do this. Maybe going to a GameStop and just striking up a conversation with an employee there. Not just going in there and being all creepy like, hey guys.
Can I get your PSN?
Yeah. If you're just going in there and buying a game, they typically like to strike up conversations. And if you go there for a midnight release or something, there's going to be people. If you go there for a midnight release for a game you're interested in and there's other people there, you can strike up a conversation with them while you're waiting in line or something like that. As far as the internet goes, that is so much easier. It's like obscene. Like go to forums of games you're interested in. Go to forums of podcasts you like listening to, particular shows. Just find a place where people with similar interests that you have go to converse, and it'll be extremely easy. Especially the PlayStation communities have made it way easier. You can literally just search games, and there's communities you can go from just tens to hundreds to thousands, and you can strike up conversations right there. Those people are looking for people to play games with. Easily send them a friend request, easily start a conversation in there. So that's definitely way more easy. Like I said, local is a little bit harder, could potentially get a little weird if you're not comfortable with just going out of your way to talk with some people. You could just walk around Walmart asking people if they play games. You could do that too. The problem with local is that more than likely the person you're going to talk to doesn't play the thing that you want them to play, and it's your job to convince them to like it as much as you do, and that's usually not the case. Or kidnapping, or you can kidnap
them, strap them down,
duct tape a controller to their hands, and just.
But we're going to play some Smash Brothers now, okay? If you want to die,
and holding a knife to their throat. But that's basically what I said. I mean, naturally in the tech world, like basically the three of us working, more often than not, you talk to anyone, they at least play video games. They may not, like you said, appreciate them as much or be into them as much, but they at the very least play video games. Like especially the sound guys I encounter, mostly all of them play video games regularly, which is cool. But I told him he works. He's a I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of biology major at he goes to school in New York, and like he said, like obviously he isn't around tech people a whole lot, so I don't know how many biology majors or people into biology play video games. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, we're in a day and age now where technology is such a huge thing that like everyone's at least played like a mobile game at some point, like on their phone. But it can be difficult to find a local group. But for example, sometimes you can get lucky online. For example, Zach's little brother Andy, he has a friend. I don't remember his real name, but they met random.
Not throw out random real names.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
No, they had met on Halo 3, I think, back in the day, maybe Halo 4, and they just played a few matches together, and they just like hit it off, and were talking and having fun and winning all these matches. Like, oh, I'll send you a friend request, and that was years ago, and still to this day they play. Probably weekly, at least a few times a week.
And now they're dating.
Yeah, now they're in a relationship, and their wedding is in the fall. So
their wedding is taking place on Xbox Live.
It is like a Halo 3 wedding. Yes. You guys remember RB and the Chief and the Halo 3 wedding episode? That was the funniest thing. So funny. But yeah, they're still friends to this day, and they talk like they've been friends their whole life, which is pretty funny. But they met playing a game. I think it was Halo, something like that, but years ago. Now they're still pals. So sometimes that happens, but that's basically what I said. The very least you can do is just talk to people and see.
Yeah. Right. Another great place is Reddit. There's pretty much a Reddit for any game. Like if you play Destiny, I know we have a few people that play Destiny that watch our videos. Go to the Bungie forums. They have like a looking for group thing on their website now, which is great. You don't have to go to another, secondhand website. And also, if you play MMOs, there's guilds. Like, people love to join guilds to do all these cooperative things that you need to do to get, the best rewards in the game. So, Those are just a few examples. That
Definitely. Yeah, this is the thing. This also goes out to everyone who's listening, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, like we said, any of the services you're listening to us on right now. If you want a local group, not really a local group, but if you want a group of friends to play games with that you don't have already, you can, like we've said 100 times, you can join our PSN community. It's Obvious Gaming on PSN. Join up, and we do the message board, and we talk to people, and every now and then we hop on Overwatch with some buddies from the community. It's
and
awesome.
we're not even exclusively saying like play games with us, like,
right? Play games with everyone else that's involved.
Guys meet each other and stuff in our community.
So
we don't have a lot. I think we have like 15 people.
Yeah, be it small, it's a community nonetheless.
Yeah,
and we're gonna play most console games that come out, so we'll be around if you guys want to play.
We don't play none of that dumb Xbox PC shit.
Yeah, yeah. When the Xbox clubs come out, we'll start a club as well for those Xbox guys, because there's every now and then there's an Xbox game that comes out I want to play.
Inside.
Yeah, I want to play Inside for sure. I'm very excited to try that. Everyone's just been praising it, so it's pretty cool. There's another solid question regarding VR, though. That's how this kind of spawned. But he says, quote, I know you guys have delved into this a little before, but do you think that with the advent of VR and the current trend towards less split screen / couch co-op, we might soon see more individualized solo experiences rather than local multiplayer experiences? Or do you think that with VR, we might see a trend towards local VR multiplayer experiences, be it with multiple headsets or even experiences like the quote, keep talking and nobody explodes game? So do you think VR coming in, do you think we're just going to see mostly strictly single player stuff? Do you think down the road we might see some multiplayer stuff brought into it as well?
Until VR gets cheaper, yes, because that's just going to be not a common thing for everybody to have a VR headset, and I think the only way for that to work is on PC right now, because there's no way a PlayStation is going to be able to handle one PlayStation pumping out a signal to two headsets.
Yeah.
No way. That's
I don't even think there's enough plugins on the PlayStation.
So. No, none of the slots. I don't know, maybe if you can like LAN your PlayStation together, I guess. But I don't know. VR seems more like a intimate thing, like you're by yourself. I think it's going to be more suitable for like online interaction. Like if I've heard about the games where you're like a room together, and like I have my headset on, you have your headset on at home, and we're like looking at each other and stuff. I think things like that are more are probably going to be pushed more to the front than local experiences.
Definitely.
And that's kind of just been, not even counting VR, that's kind of been more of the push from games nowadays. I mean, look at Halo 5 not having any split screen and stuff. Like the online stuff is being pushed to the front, like pretty much in everything.
Right.
And granted, like how you feel about that can kind of suck. I really don't care, because I primarily like playing games by myself, so I'm not worrying about it. But
there'll always be a place for local co-ops. They'll just be there. It's a downward trend for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are games that are super famous for it, like Smash Brothers, games like that. Those are always going to have local.
Just the other night, I was playing Rocket League last night actually with a couple buddies. Yeah, same screen.
So. That's there. I just think the giant AAA releases, discounting Super Smash Brothers, but just for the most part, probably not going to be seeing a lot of split screen stuff.
Yeah.
So. Especially in VR at the moment.
Yeah.
So
I feel like their main goal anyway is just at the very least just get people into the headset so they know exactly what it is anyway. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say down the road maybe we'll see some
I think
stuff.
There's going to be some local stuff with somebody playing VR and then another person with a controller. I think they've already demoed some games like that, if I'm not mistaken, on PlayStation VR. A competitive game where one person's got the headset on and there's more people playing, just watching the TV, and it's like I don't remember what it was, but I think there are going to be experiences like that. So I don't know how it's going to work. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I swear I thought I saw something like that.
You just might have.
I might have. Yeah
VR man just over the horizon. I'm excited, but special thanks to Stephen Garney. He is one of the two people that Edgar was the other, has submitted questions to us before and topic ideas, so we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out, and thank you for tuning in. It is an honor, and those questions were fantastic. I really enjoyed those and created a great discussion. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for from anyone else that has like, oh, this would be a solid topic. I'd love to hear you guys discuss this. We want to talk to you about it as well. It isn't just about the three of us, it's about all of us as a whole. So please, any topics, any questions, send them our way. Again, that's #AskIOG on Twitter, or send us a direct message on Facebook, Instagram.
You can hashtag on Facebook too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's
Not
true.
that anyone does it. But
But ask IOG as our hashtag for now, unless someone takes that over with something else, like ask introverted
Orange gorillas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that can happen as well. You
That's
never
a good
know.
one.
But as of right now, reach out to us if you're willing. We'd love to hear from you guys, and at the very least, introduce yourself. We love getting to know everyone who's tuning in. So, special thanks again to Stephen Garney. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Continuing on, speaking of PlayStation games, Supermassive Games, which is working on Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and Tumble VR for PlayStation VR launch, has already expressed their interest in going multi-platform, following a close relationship with Sony. As managing director Pete Samuels told Games Industry, though, they aren't leaving Sony behind. Quote, "We have such a great relationship with Sony. We want to continue to work with Sony, and we are continuing to work with Sony on lots of things." That's a lot of Sony sentences right there. "There's no concern or resentment or any bad feeling. They're a really important publisher for us, and I hope and expect that they'll continue to be that. Following the success of last year's Until Dawn," in quotes it says, "it beat sales expectations in 2 months. Supermassive Games is already internally discussing Until Dawn 2. However, 8 months later, it isn't one of the things they're working on. Quote, "There's a lot of speculation about what we're doing and what we're working on right now. We're not working on Until Dawn 2 at the moment. We're working on other things. Whether or not it's in the horror genre," Samuel says, "they want to push and bring those experiences, those cinematic storytelling, narrative-driven games to other platforms. It seems that the next logical step for us now is to broaden that out into similar experiences. But with the differences depending on the IP, the publisher, the platform, and so on," he added later. "That's what we want, and that's what we're really focused on now, to take what we did in Until Dawn and push that even further," end quote. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed Until Dawn. We did a walkthrough of the entire game, which can be found in our Until Dawn walkthrough playlist on youtube.com/itsobviousgaming. We had a lot of fun with that. That was the first walkthrough we ever did. Yeah. And making the decisions, and we laughed at pretty much everything we did, which was great. And the story was intriguing. It was cool. We had a depressing ending. I won't spoil it if you have any interest in going on that journey with us. But it was a lot of fun. So I look forward to the inevitable sequel of Until Dawn 2. But I would be interested in seeing them tackling other genres with that same gameplay, like maybe like an action game of some sorts, maybe, but like making the decisions is very cinematic and stuff. Maybe that'd be cool. Yeah. But I was gonna say, I mean, they could take Until Dawn and turn that into like a pretty like an annual franchise in a way, because like if you have the gameplay and the engine, you just kind of have to craft a new, kind of like Call of Duty, you just kind of have to craft a new skin over it. Like take Until Dawn and add brand new characters, brand new setting, brand new story. That'd be cool. Like every year, just like a brand new horror story where you go on this journey and make all these decisions with brand new characters every single year. I think it'd be cool. I mean, that's maybe unrealistic. I'm sure it takes a little more effort than that, obviously. Maybe every 2 year, a 2 year cycle of Until Dawn could be cool.
More likely.
Yeah, but
Until Dusk.
Yeah, Until Dusk. But like Until Dawn could initially be anything you want it to be, story-wise and character-wise. So I think that'd be cool. I mean, obviously, I think it's safe to say we're going to get a sequel at some point. But as of right now, they're not working on it. So
yeah. I'm interested to see what they're working on. I know they're working on that Rush of Blood, which looks pretty cool on VR. Yeah. They said they were working on another VR game as well.
Yeah, it's called Tumble VR. Huh. I think I may have seen something for that, or maybe I just read something about it. I can't remember. Okay. But working on that as well. So Until Dawn 2 is kind of on the back burner right now. And they're wanting to go multi-platform with it, which I can't blame them, especially
after
the success.
Until Dawn's a Sony.
Oh, that's locked down.
Yeah. Okay. So it'd have to be another.
I guess that's why they're saying they're doing other things.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And like every developer ever is pretty much a consensus, unless they're Sony or Microsoft owned. For instance, Insomniac, they're not. A lot of people thought they were owned by Sony, but obviously that's not the case because Sunset Overdrive, I think Fuse. I don't know. They've released a few games that are multi-platform and exclusives on both sides. But what was the free? Oh yeah, but a majority of developers, they want their game to be played by as many people as possible.
Yeah, why would you not?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, unless you're like Naughty Dog or something who's specifically owned by a publisher, like Sony, and specifically like the Coalition who's owned by Microsoft and stuff, where you're you're specifically funded to make a game for that platform and stuff. That's a completely different thing. But for the I would say the super high majority, I would probably just put my money on it and say every game developer wants their game to be played by everybody. Right. So I mean, that's
makes total sense. But I'm looking forward to see what they do, because I was really impressed with Until Dawn. So it'd be cool to see what else they can pull off. But guys, PlayStation, plenty of PlayStation news. We got the PS Plus games for July. You ready for this? Coming to PS4, we got Fury. That's spelled F-U-R-I. I haven't heard of that.
The Shia LaBeouf tank movie?
Yes, I certainly hope so. Yeah. Turned into the video game. Fury's a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, have you not? Dude, it's great. I love that movie.
I know I'd like it.
That's probably like it goes Saving Private Ryan and then Fury. That's how good it is. It's fantastic. Highly suggest you watch it as soon as you can.
Okay.
Also, we got Saints Row Gat Out of Hell coming to PS4. I never played that one. Saints Row just got so ridiculous.
I'd be interested to just fart around in that.
Yeah, if it's free, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
Saints Row,
like the
man.
DLC to Saints Row 4, but you're in hell and you're like flying around with superpowers and stuff. So
it's like that franchise is truly defines the term loose cannon. It just went wild. But now they got Agents of Mayhem coming, which is interesting. Did you guys see gameplay for Agents of Mayhem? It looks interesting.
Like I don't know what it is. It looks like the MOBA / hero shooter /
it's an open world.
Oh, it's open world.
Yeah, it's open world action type game. But the interesting thing is you can switch characters at will. Like you can be one second you can be I can't remember all their names, but you can be like one character shooting someone, and a split second later you can be another character doing something else, just to kind of combine all their abilities, which I thought was kind of interesting. But that's just a little bit of stuff I saw from it.
I was off. So that's just what it looked like at first impressions. So,
but they said that the game totally spawned out of stuff they're screwing around with in Saints Row. And they're like, oh, let's just turn this into its own thing, which is cool. But they're doing something new, which is pretty cool.
Cool. I wonder how successful that game's going to be.
I don't know, because right now I have no interest in playing it. But I mean, we covered it a bit on E3 just because I was interested to see something new from Volition Games.
It reminded me like of Battleborn for some reason. I'm like, not a good name, Agents of Mayhem, just the art style.
I love Battleborn's art style.
I mean, Battleborn art style is fine. I didn't mean that as like an insult to it. I'm just saying, like, this just seems like a game that nobody really has any interest in right now, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
So,
we also have
I forgot about Battleborn.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I forget about it too. I feel bad too because everyone loves Overwatch.
Destroyed that game. I bet you they are just like shit over there. Like,
what are the chances they come out the same year?
Especially just the beta coming out on the day Battleborn's released and just crushes it. Like
it's a shame.
That sucks. Should have just done Borderlands 3.
Yeah, at least it's still coming. But yeah, they should have just stuck to that because that game will no doubt be successful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens, man. Call of Juarez Bound in Blood is coming to PS3.
Excellent game.
I've heard it's good.
Super fun.
And now, is that the one that's still in the West?
Yes.
Because I know they did the one that was like modern day after
we don't
that.
talk about that one.
Yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for that and being like, why?
I think it's called The Cartel or something like that. Yeah, that one doesn't exist. Bound in Blood's fun, though.
Cool. For those PS3 owners, if you still got a PS3 and you want to play Call of Juarez for free, go for it. We also have Fat Princess coming to PS3. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's made by, I think, Santa Monica?
It's kind of like...
Don't kill me if I'm wrong.
I think it's kind of like Diablo, right?
No.
It's like a dungeon crawler.
No, it's like a competitive game where you're like throwing the princess around and stuff. It's over the top. I can see where you would get that. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I've only seen it being played. I know it's like an online competitive game. I think you can play single player too or something. But it's like about feeding the princess and like carrying her around or something. I think. Oh, I've heard it's fun. So it's like a well-known Sony downloadable game. So
well, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Fat Princess. Keep an eye out. This one is hard to pronounce for me. Orishika. I would pronounce that Orishika. Yeah. Orishika Tainted Bloodlines for PS Vita.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. Guess what? We'll look into it, at least if it's free. I'm going to, at the very least, look into it.
I'll add it to my library.
Yep. Prince of Persia Revelation, which you brought to my attention. This is also for PS Vita this month, which is the old PSP version of Warrior Within.
Yeah.
Now, Warrior Within was my favorite Prince of Persia for two reasons. One, it took the T rating of the first game and made it way more hardcore. I liked how he was like a total badass and kind of like, in a way, like he felt very conflicted because he unleashed the sands of time in the first game and he's personally responsible for the deaths of like hundreds of men. Granted, he turned back time at the end of the game and like kind of solved all that, but like, you know, it's like they created the story out of thin air in the second one. It's like, you open the sands of time, you can't escape your fate, you got to do all this extra stuff. But I thought that game was awesome because it was just super brutal. I'll never forget the soundtrack. Even though it was totally unnecessary, it was just like a completely heavy metal soundtrack. Imagine the Doom soundtrack in like a medieval type game, essentially. It's like totally out of place, but I loved it for some reason. It was very cool. One of my favorite soundtracks of all time. I'm
just going to say, the Prince of Persia series overall is just pretty awesome.
It is.
Especially the first trilogy.
It's one of my favorite trilogies of all time.
Yeah, it was Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, which when that came out, I freaking loved that game as a kid. I thought it was so cool how you're like your outfit degraded over time, and by the end, and you got that like badass sword, and you're like one hitting everything.
Yeah,
thought that was so awesome.
You want to hear, before you continue on in this, an embarrassing quote I said about Sands of Time back in the day?
Sure.
I was so excited about that game. You showed it to me for the first time at your house when we were kids, and two of your buddies who we were not really good friends with had come over one night. Or who I wasn't good friends with. You were still friends with those other guys. They'd come over and you're like, guys, I got Prince of Persia. I rented Prince of Persia or something. I'm going to show it to you guys. And I was like, yeah, prepare to see your eyes. And everyone just sat there for a second, and you were like, what? I was like, I mean, prepare to be amazed or something, because I was like so blown away by it. I'll never forget saying, prepare to see your eyes. There's just dead silence. And you're like, what? It's like... I just remember sounding like an idiot when I was describing Prince of Persia.
I think I just made
I know, it was pretty bad.
I think I just made a massive pop on accident.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
I accidentally smacked the mic. Sorry for you.
We got a compressor on there that does its job sometimes.
Okay, cool.
But Prince of Persia is awesome.
But then Warrior Within. Then the next one,
Two Thrones.
That's when you had that dark spirit in you.
Right. It had like the chain weapon.
Yeah, I played that on the Wii.
Did you?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That was pretty cool.
You know what I remember? I remember when you had either purchased or rented that, and it was rated M, and I remember you sticking it in and going, feels good to stick that guy in there. I was like, yeah, it does. That's like before our parents were really letting us play M-rated games.
I'm pretty sure you had it rented over here. Your dad rented it, let you rent it for you, and
Something
I just
like
played
that.
the entire thing.
Yeah, the first M
sat there
game
and watched me.
The first M game I
know
ever
what
played
it is.
was
It's Navy.
Yeah, SOCOM US Navy
You
SEALs.
sat down and watched me.
Yeah.
That was our relationship. That's
Yeah,
what
I watched Preston play countless games as a kid, countless, and that's the thing. I enjoyed it. Like that's what we did. I go to his house most weekends and pretty much stay the weekend and watch him play games for hours.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So
that's why it's so funny.
Yeah, I can totally relate. But and there's even the funniest pictures. I think I may have uploaded to Instagram a while back. But there's a picture of us as a kids. It's the epitome of our relationship, because we're at like an arcade and Preston's got this pistol playing like what was that, Time Crisis or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, and he's shooting the pistol. I'm just standing there watching with like a dumbfounded look on my face. And of course there's two pistols, but Preston's the only one playing. That was like the epitome of our relationship as kids. But yeah, that whole trilogy was awesome.
Well, after that one came the reboot.
Yeah, just the Prince of Persia.
Yeah, and I liked that game. It was cool. The one-on-one boss fights. And
just very artistic, too.
Yeah, very artsy. It ended with like definitely an opening for a sequel. I think there was DLC that continued it. I never played it, though.
Okay.
And then after that, there was the movie tie-in game that I platinumed in one sitting.
Was that the Forgotten Sands?
Yes.
I thought that was separate from the movie.
It was, but it came out around the time of the movie.
Is that the one we went to see at midnight?
Did we go see Prince of Persia at midnight? Wow.
That was my very first midnight movie.
I remember that. I distinctly remember you being there. I will say that I wasn't completely disappointed with that movie. Granted,
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay. That chick was ridiculously attractive too.
She's very pretty.
Very attractive.
Yeah. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I know everyone's like, why is this white guy playing the Prince of Persia? I mean, I can get over that.
Why does the guy in the game look like a white guy?
Yeah. But it's interesting because it was like a variation of the Sands of Time storyline, but he was wearing the costume from Warrior Within, and they just kind of changed things at the end that made it less interesting in my opinion, but I guess you got to make it work for a movie. Yeah. But I wasn't totally disappointed by it. That was
totally one of the better video game movies.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was not horrendous. It had like a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe.
I just thought it was going to suck so bad, so I watched it on TV, and when it was over, I was like, that was not bad. I think I'd watch that again if it came on TV and I wasn't doing anything. I'd watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you woke up and it just happened to be on the television, you wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah, I would not do that.
So,
but I really want them to bring that franchise back. I know Assassin's Creed kind of took over, but
I'd be fine with it being linear too.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want everything. I think Assassin's Creed's a good style of that game to be open world. Give me a really cinematic, linear Prince of Persia game.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
That sounds awesome.
I would love that.
I'm trying to think of like what they could do to make it interesting again. Because the trilogy's great. Like, it doesn't take away from the trilogy, but like you wouldn't want to like rehash. It's like, oh, you have the dagger, you can reverse time. Like, as cool as a mechanic
I would be fine with a complete reboot of the series, going back to the dagger and stuff. I feel like they could just make a lot cooler puzzles and stuff. Maybe improve the combat a little bit. Don't make a exact one-to-one like creation, but I really liked the story of the first one.
Me too.
So
I love the way it ends too.
Yes,
it's awesome.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
But what's another cool thing? Yeah, I quote the Prince of Persia games every now and then. There's two quotes specifically that Preston and I use all the time that are quotable in most conversations daily. Like one is when you first discover the dagger of time in his chamber in the first game, he just goes, and there it lay. The dagger of time. I say, and there it lay with everything. If I see like something I'm looking for, and there it lay. And then
I remember when he falls off from it and just does the roll, just like holds it out for his father.
Oh yeah.
Just like so smooth.
Yeah.
And then it goes
great.
back into the crappy graphics after the cutscene.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I played that game a billion times as a kid. Holy
I loved
crap.
it, man. I'll never
Fun
forget
game.
reversing time for the first time. I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
So cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the next time we might play a Prince of Persia game is when they release a Splinter Cell game.
Yeah, seriously.
So, yeah, who knows?
It's funny, you know that stealth gamer guy on YouTube that does all the amazing stealth gameplay?
Did you see he put up a blacklist
video?
Yeah.
I loved it, dude.
I know.
Like, this is awesome.
I
And
love
people
that
were
game.
saying like, oh, this game's so underrated. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Heck yeah.
Man, I would love a new one so much.
Yes.
Two men can dream.
We can pray.
Yeah, we can.
We'll
We most
do it.
certainly can.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, as an added benefit this month, PS Plus members get early access to Paragon before it hits open beta on August 16th. Paragon is the new MOBA from legendary developer Epic Games. Besides getting to play the game before it hits open beta, you will also receive a starter pack that includes 3 master challenges for the heroes Gadget, Murdoch, and Rampage to unlock skins, XP, boost emotes, and deck slots, and more for a $40 value.
Oh my god.
You guys have any interest in Paragon?
No.
Yeah. He surprised me so much how I like went up 5 octaves.
Right.
Because I thought you were going to say,
No.
I have an interest.
I've seen some cool gameplay
I
for
would
it.
play it. If it's free
Yes.
to try it out?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
I will. Well, maybe it's not free. It says it says PS Plumbers get early access to Paragon. It says for a $40 value. Maybe that means it's free, but
there's an open beta though, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Hasn't it been like beta
It's
for
been
a
in
year or
closed beta
something?
for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They announced it at is it PSX?
PSX, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the first PSX.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's funny is that like when
Well, I think was it the first?
it was the
PSX?
most previous one. It was last November they announced it.
Okay.
The reason why that's surprising is because when I'm sure you guys saw the same thing when they revealed the game. I was like, oh, I imagine we'll see that in like a year or something. But the open beta started like a month or two.
Especially
after
when
that.
they didn't show any gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird, but apparently I've seen a little bit of the open beta. They've just slowly been releasing new characters, and from what I hear, it's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't heard anyone like raving about it, but I'm like you said, I'm interested in at least trying it.
I've heard from as far as MOBAs go on console that it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I'd be interested in at least trying it. I've never played a MOBA ever before, so
Definitely,
yeah.
guys. I'm gonna read through this because the details may or may not be relevant, but Xbox Ones are coming free with the purchase of a Surface Pro 4.
Oh,
This week.
Whoa.
Maybe it was last week. I can't remember. I think it's a ongoing thing for a little while. But for those of you that have wanted an Xbox One, purchase a Surface Pro 4 and you got one for free.
How much are those?
I'm about to find out. I can't remember. I briefly skimmed this, putting the notes together. This is from Tom Warren of The Verge. Quote, Microsoft is tempting students to buy a Surface Pro 4 this week with a new promotion running at all its retail stores in the U.S. The software maker is taking $300 off when students buy a Surface Pro 4 and Xbox One. So basically a free Xbox One with the purchase of a Surface Pro 4, says Terry Mearson, head of Windows and Devices at Microsoft in an interview with The Verge. The deal goes live today and will run to August 14th. The timing of Microsoft's deal comes just a week after the company revealed its ending production of the Surface 3 devices. By the end of the year, Microsoft originally aimed the Surface Pro 3 at students looking for a cheaper version of its popular Surface Pro devices, and it's not clear whether a successor will ever arrive now. Most rumors have suggested that Microsoft will focus on its Surface Pro and Surface Book devices with a refresh plan next year. Microsoft has typically launched its Surface Pro devices in time for the fall.
Hey kids, come buy something to do your homework on and then get a free Xbox to not do your homework.
Exactly.
Is the Surface Pro the one that you can change from a laptop to a tablet?
Is that what that is? I can't remember.
I think so because my sister bought 3 of them, and she returned each of them back because it sucked.
all
Yeah,
3
I can
times.
imagine.
All 3 times.
Man, that is like for sure. It doesn't work at that
But
point.
granted, that was one of the first gen ones, so I'm sure they've improved. But my only experience with them is the little thing that flips out.
Yeah.
The touchpad felt really bad and stuff, but I'm sure that was a long time ago. I'm sure they've improved on it. I just I don't know anybody that has one now. I don't hear like the term Surface Pro anywhere.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Maybe you will now with a free Xbox.
Yeah, but say best case scenario, what if there's one person out there that's wants a Surface Pro 4? It's like, man, that sounds awesome, but they also want an Xbox One. Maybe it's a match made in heaven. You have until August 14th to take advantage of that. So I thought I'd throw that out there because you never know. There might be one person that hears this podcast and be like, holy crap, I need both of those things. So you never know. So I threw it in there, which is pretty cool. But guys, speaking of Xbox, this one's actually pretty cool. From Eddie Makic of GameSpot, quote, Microsoft has announced a new incentive to encourage people to pick up Gears of War 4. Everyone who buys the game on Xbox One digital or at retail before the end of 2016 will receive copies of all the Gears of War Xbox 360 games. The games Gears of War, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, and Gears of War Judgment are playable on Xbox One through backwards compatibility. The fine print explains that you will need a 32 gigabyte of hard drive space to download all 4 Gears of War Xbox 360 games. Additionally, tokens for the games will be sent in, quote, waves through Xbox Live Messages within 1 month of the redemption. The offer expires on December 31st. This isn't the first time Microsoft has given away Gears of War games. Everyone who played Gears of War Ultimate Edition before the end of 2015 received the 4 Xbox 360 games free. Gears of War 4 launches on October 11th for Xbox One and PC. It is a play anywhere title, so if you buy it digitally on Xbox One, you get a copy of the PC version free and vice versa, end quote. So that's pretty cool for me because I missed my opportunity to accept the Gears games on 360 because I got a message on Xbox because obviously I never get on Xbox One, very rarely. I mean, I've been getting on it a little more recently to play Halo, but I had received a message like months and months back, and then I opened it, and it's like, hey, here's your download code for the Gears of War games. I typed it in, it's like, this code is expired. I was like, that sucks. But not that I would have like, I want to play through all the Gears games again. It's still cool for those that...
I redeemed all of mine.
Did you? Mm-hmm. So you downloaded all of them? Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. I mean, I love that trilogy. Like I said, Gears 4, I wouldn't even say I'm like pumped about. I'm just interested in playing it because I loved the first trilogy.
Yeah.
And I have to play the 4th one. And I'm intrigued by the story that's JD Phoenix and Old Man Marcus is in there. So I'm excited about it for sure.
Yeah, me too.
But it's cool that for those of you that either have not played any of the Gears games or would like to play them again, if you purchase Gears 4 before the end of 2016, you get all 4 of the prequels. That's pretty cool.
I have a code story.
Let's hear it.
Remember when I got the gold PS4?
Yes, I do.
They sent me a 1 year of PS Plus.
Yeah. Wow, a whole year?
Yeah. I tried to redeem it a couple months back, and it had expired. It expired the end of last year. I was like, I don't need to put this in now. I have so many more months left on my PS Plus.
Now, does that stack? Like, say you added it?
I think it does.
Does it stack? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jacob Alka.
I know. It's so unfortunate. Now I got to dish out another $60.
You're right.
Yeah, go back to your Xbox, loser.
Yeah. What a shame, Jacob. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I'm good. I made it through. Guys, Xbox games for Gold in July have also been listed. You ready for this? No. The Crew, July 16th through the July 15th. It's available right now, actually.
Oh.
The Banner Saga 2, don't know what that is. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
It's a strategy game.
Okay.
Sequel to the first one that was received very well.
Interesting. Well, that's free on Xbox One. That's available to the 31st of this month. Tumblestone, available July 16th through August 15th. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, me neither. Xbox 360.
Sounds riveting, though.
Yeah. For 360, you get Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Remember that game?
I do remember that game. That was a fun game.
That's available for the 1st of July through the 15th of July. And Tron Evolution is available for the 16th through the 31st of this month. I don't have any interest in Tron.
No.
Now, if Rainbow Six Vegas 2 was on Xbox One, I'd probably download that, just dabble in it again. Probably nostalgic because we had a lot of fun with that for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
I think you get 360 games on your Xbox One as well, right? Do the backwards compatibility?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see why Rainbow Six Vegas 2 wouldn't be on that list.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
The Crew was on...
Are you going to do it?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Might as well. All the other stuff.
So are you gonna?
Yeah. Most of the other things we've been listing, I've either attempted to download or have downloaded. So maybe I will when I'm dabbling around on Xbox like I have been
I canceled
recently.
my gold this month because it was about to bill me. It was like, we're going to bill you again in a day. And I was like, ha ha.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. I'm keeping it around because, one, I've been playing some Halo. I'm probably going to pick up GTA to play online with them because they've been screwing around in GTA Online on Xbox, and it sounds hilarious from what they tell me. And I tried to play Rocket League with them last night, but that didn't work out because I invited them.
I'm still thinking about what Press was. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, yeah. I've been considering canceling it, but like I said, I never know when I'm going to start playing it again. Like just recently, I've been playing a surprising amount of Halo, and Zach miraculously wants to play Halo 5 now. He was against it, but then his brother was like, "Play Halo 5." He's like, "Okay," so we're going to try some more Halo 5.
You guys are chatting with Ace.
Ace Bynum. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
I call him Ace now.
Nice.
Just Ace.
So, but yeah, I haven't canceled it yet, but you know, oh well. It's probably a smart move on your end. They almost got you.
Almost got me.
Yeah.
Not this time.
I tend when I whip out the Xbox, I tend to just pay the $10 just to play for that month, because I'll typically be in a mood to play Halo or something for just a wee bit.
Yeah.
And don't want to invest.
A year's investment for like a couple weeks of Halo. It's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys. Teeny tiny bit of movie news I wanted to dabble in a little bit. I'm not going to read the article because it's kind of long, and I'm kind of just done reading articles today, but I'll just keep it brief. I'll paraphrase. The Han Solo script, according to sources, is one of the best scripts for Star Wars that have ever been read, apparently. Which blows my mind. It's the last thing I ever expected to hear.
Wow.
So
dude,
apparently it's great.
Hyping you up, dude.
Yeah, maybe. But that's the thing. Ever since Dan Lester brought to our attention that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the directors, and they have that guy from Hail Caesar, dude, I have like the utmost faith in like this project. Now, at the end of the day, like, I don't think why do a prequel for Han Solo? I don't think it's necessary. But if they're going to do it, I feel like those three guys working together is a match made in heaven. And I think it's going to be phenomenal. And it's just more reassuring that the sources say the script is phenomenal, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for having a huge lack of faith in this movie. But
why do you feel bad?
Well, I feel bad because it's like, it's Star Wars, it's Han Solo. Like, I want to like it, and I hate like just being down on people because I'm like, oh, they're making a movie that doesn't need to be made. Like, I don't want to just like put people down for trying something that they believe in. It's okay, but
it's squeezed out the side.
It's a cheap water bottle,
I'm
so it
sorry.
happens. It's okay. I'll get over it.
Fun fact about water bottles.
Let's hear it.
I have these same ones at my house right now.
The public spring water.
Wow.
That's a great fact, isn't
Fun
it?
fact,
Yeah.
man.
I don't mind the public spring water. It's pretty good.
Look,
This top is just...
It's the worst.
this is the one I brought from home.
Oh wow, look at that.
the same
Jacob.
one.
You want
it's
to
the
toast real
same
quick?
thing.
It's toast to
Toast to
Publix.
Publix spring water. Publix is a great establishment. For those of you that don't know, if there isn't a Publix in your country, it's a grocery store here in the States. Speaking of, this is a quick grocery store story that's kind of weird and funny.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously in Georgia we have a few different grocery stores.
Georgia.
We have Publix, we have Kroger, we have Ingles, and is there a Winn-Dixie in Georgia, or are they only in like Alabama?
There's Winn-Dixie's, Piggly
They're less common up the
Piggly
north.
Wigglies.
I was under the
Piggly
impression that they're only in like Alabama and other
Piggly
states.
Wiggly.
There's Winn-Dixie's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got multiple grocery stores, but the big ones in Georgia are Publix being number 1 and Kroger being number 2.
Is that a fact now?
I would assume so because I see way more Krogers and Publixes than I do any of the others.
Oh, I mean, are you going to put Publix ahead of Kroger? Because I
Yes.
see way more Krogers instead of Publixes.
Oh, well, maybe that's the
Way
case.
more.
I mean, just like the popularity of them is, and like most people prefer to go to Publix. Is
See,
like,
I guess it's just my family, because my family hates going to Publix.
oh, really? Why?
Yeah, the
Why?
prices are higher than Kroger.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
But I go to Publix for one specific reason.
they're
It's the-
subs.
No, well, they're subs
They're
too.
deli meat.
And they're deli meat, because Kroger's deli meat, it's the same brand, Boar's Head, but Kroger does not take care of their meat nearly as well as Publix does. I mean, it is a night and day
That's a
difference.
fact.
And my cold cut sandwich
Is that an
meat,
effect now?
That's a fact.
No, it is.
Of all the Krogers and Publixes.
Yeah, I know.
You've been to all of them.
I know that for a fact because I take my deli meat very seriously, and Kroger's sucks compared.
Would you
to
be
Publix.
open-minded to think that it's just the two ones you go to?
I don't think so.
That
No,
the
I don't
Kroger,
think so.
I
or is it
promise.
just it's a corporate across the board thing of how the deli meat is handled?
This is
At least in this local area,
okay.
yes.
That's what
at
I'm
least.
saying. Okay,
I'm not saying
because
Kroger's
we get
bad.
our deli meats from Kroger.
You get Boar's Head?
Yeah, and it
Old
tastes like
Boar's?
Boar's Head.
No, don't get me wrong. When I say it's not as good as Publix,
do you not like Boar's Head?
No, I love Boar's Head. My point in saying is they sell Boar's Head at Publix and Boar's Head at Kroger.
Yeah.
Boar's Head at Kroger is just fine.
Okay.
But Publix is, like, I can't even describe it. It's like blow your mind how much well kept it is. Like, it's juicier. They slice it better.
We need to compare these. We
will.
We need to do
Actually,
this.
in fact, I will show you how good it looks when we go downstairs. They cut it last night. Now,
Is this the Publix one?
yes,
Okay.
it is like it'll blow your mind. Not only how clean cut it is, but how just perfectly symmetrical all the slices are.
I'm gonna go in your fridge one night when you're asleep, and I'm gonna switch them out, and I'm gonna see if you tell the difference.
Oh, I will. I promise. Because I've gotten it enough from Kroger and Publix to always know the difference. Okay. And the meat from Kroger is always drier, and I cannot stand when it's super dry. But regardless, what was I even going with this? It was important.
Try my deli meat when you're over at my crib. And when
do you think that'll be?
I don't know. It's up to you, sir.
Okay. I'll just bring my deli meat over to your deli meat.
We'll have a deli show off.
Yeah. The deli down. The meat down. I don't know. But what was I saying?
Deli derby.
Oh, the Kroger story. So
yes.
my family and I briefly moved to Orlando, Florida when I was in middle school because my dad's job. So when we get there, they would ask me, and this is before my family went to Publix a lot. And it's really, we mostly get our groceries from Kroger, but we go to Publix for the deli meat. It's not even my mom's choice. I'd ask my mom, please go to Publix if you're going to get deli meat because it's just so much better. But anyway, so I moved to Florida, and this random conversation sparked, and they were like, something Publix. They're like, hey, when you lived in Georgia, where'd you get your groceries? I was like, oh, from Kroger. And I remember this girl, dude, looking at me like I had just slapped her dog or something. She goes, what the hell is Kroger? I was like, a grocery store? And she was like, what kind of name is that? She's like, that's disgusting. Kroger? Like, why would you go to someplace named... She freaked out because I went to a grocery store.
Where did she go? Winn-Dixie?
No, she went to Publix. She's like...
What grocery store has a common name? Ingles, Piggly Wiggly, Kroger, Publix,
I know.
Winn-Dixie. Like, these are all
Whole Foods.
Freaking bizarre-ass names.
I think she was just offended because I guess in that area of Orlando, all they had was Publix, so they didn't have any Kroger. She was like just disgusted that the word Kroger came out of my mouth. That's where I get my groceries, the Kroger. That's my my grocery store story. But.
Nice. I have to tell you something after this.
Okay.
All right. I can't say it here.
That's fine.
Just remind me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The only other thing I was going to say for the podcast, at least news-wise, is that Wreck-It Ralph 2's announced for 2018.
Cool.
Wreck-It Ralph 1 was phenomenal, so I'm excited about that.
Never saw it.
Make sure
it was
I write
very
this
good.
topic down.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, that's all I really had this week. So I skipped one topic. It was the Call of Duty DLC with dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Sick.
Yeah, totally sick, man.
Dude, badass.
But yeah, pretty semi-exciting week, I guess. Not really anything huge, but I enjoyed talking to you guys about deli meats. What did we talk about? Car wrecks, you know, that kind of stuff is exciting at least.
All that gaming news.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. This was the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast. Sure, my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games. Obviously, if you liked it, please give us a like down below, leave us a comment. Be sure to subscribe to youtube.com/itsobviousgaming. Also, subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify. Do you subscribe on Spotify?
I think you like follow or subscribe.
Do all that stuff on Spotify. And shout out to our Spotify listeners because we are getting quite a few of them.
Yes,
we're very grateful.
It's thrilling because we've always wanted to just kind of get out there more, and the fact that Spotify's working out, where it's just an honor to meet all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in and saying hello. If you haven't said hello already, please visit us on YouTube or any of our social media found in the links below.
Yes.
To say hello. So
be sure to check out our base of operations is youtube.com/itsobviousgaming. So if you're checking us out on Spotify, iTunes, Audio Boom, Google Play, any of that other stuff, please be sure to check us out at youtube.com/itsobviousgaming.
Yes, sir.
All we ask is that you just give us a chance.
just give us a chance. What's that from again?
I don't know.
I was just speaking from the heart, Garrett. I don't quote everything.
It's from a superhero
movies.
movie. I can't remember which one. It'll come to me after we wrap up, of course.
Superman 2.
Sure.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I
Always.
look forward to this week of video games with you.
Oh, yeah.
And our friends.
Amen.
And I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys have an excellent week.
Bye.
See ya.